Test, test, test. Okay, this is Cassidy. I'm gonna give something experimental a shot for the Immortal here. Gonna resist my urge to play Katamari again. So basically, this is player's commentary, which is sort of, you ever seen a DVD? You know how they do director's commentary and stuff? Well, imagine if some jackass who was not involved in the creation of the movie at all decided to just comment on what he thought watching the movie would be like. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here now. Hello, Charky. Hello, Slow Beef.
Hey, Cass.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Welcome to The Immortal. This is the show in which we play The Immortal. At the top, let me go ahead and ask a question. Just, take a pulse here. What's your familiarity with The Immortal? Charky, you first. I assume you're the expert on this.
I played a bit of the NES version. I got kind of frustrated with it and put it down. I can't imagine playing it all the way through myself, which is why I'm not the one playing it tonight.
Very good. How about you, Slow Beef?
Oh boy. So I think when I was younger, I had a copy of it for the Genesis. It was one of those games my mom got for me, I think, and didn't know how violent it was. Neither did I. And, I actually managed to learn it and finish it. And then I got into this Let's Play thing on the Something Awful forums. And I started to do a Let's Play of it after I did one of Snatcher. And I was like, I like to add extra little things. And I was like, maybe I should video record this and kind of talk over it, narrate over it a bit. Kind of like DVD commentary, I guess you could say.
One might say.
One might say. I guess I pulled myself away from Katamari, which I didn't realize.
I took creative liberty with the intro.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of got a little notoriety from it, and in the years since, I have played it on stream before. I finished the NES version, the Genesis version, and I think I finished the DOS version. I at least played it, but I'm pretty familiar with it, I think.
Yes, I would hope. Being the father of the Let's Play, as some may say. Thank you for inventing the concept of talking over video games. I know before...
It was over... You said it was over The Immortal? I thought it was over that Japanese survival horror game Penumbra. That's what I heard. Unless TikTok lied to me. I don't know.
There's a very, very authoritative video on it, I think, yes. But, no, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're welcome for the concept of audio narration.
Before then, we just had to sit quietly when we played video games, all of us across the world, until one brave man said, what if?
They were like the old silent films where you'd show, a little bit of Pac-Man, and then I hope I get that power pellet would appear in text. Great, but yeah. So.
I mean, at least we're still not doing screenshot LPs. That's a whole other thing.
There's
also,
some
someone in
folk out
chat
there.
says, Paul in chat says, "Oh God, pixel beef." Yeah, I draw all the avatars. I just always like an opportunity to do that. Pop quiz: what's the clothing based on?
Oh, I know that.
We'll see if chat knows. Yeah. We'll see if chat can figure that out.
I should talk a little to get the color kind of going, right?
That'll help get it across.
Easier. Yeah.
I'm glad that you picked it up though, because I was like, I'm not going to tell Slow Beef. I'm going to let that be a surprise.
I didn't pick it up until the stream started, just for the record. But
chat got it. Yep, Mike Dawson. Yep.
There you go.
Well, before we get into the game, we got a little bit of bookkeeping to take care of at the top here, including the information that's already on the screen here. Let me just read that out for posterity's sake. The Immortal was released initially in November 1990 across the Apple IIGS and the Nintendo Entertainment System. Later released on the Genesis, the version we'll be playing tonight, on November of 1991. No specific dates for this stuff. It would also come out across the Amiga, the Atari ST, DOS, Macintosh, and modern re-releases on virtual consoles and the like. Developed by Sandcastle, published by Electronic Arts. So now we got that squared away. We can get to the meat of the show here. And when I say the meat of the show, I of course mean Turkey Stream Snack!
All right, tonight's stream snack is Alani Nu Winter Wonderland. I figured out what this flavor is between episodes.
Oh, do tell.
Last year it was like coconut berry, like the Red Bull coconut flavor. This year it's apparently sugar plum and cranberry. So I think apparently they decided to actually make the winter flavor taste like winter and not, coconut. Tonight's snack is Suki's Samosas, chicken tikka masala, crispy wraps with chicken in a creamy masala sauce. So these are little pastries, and it comes with a cilantro chutney sauce. I normally don't do sauces during these streams, but yeah, give it a shot.
That sounds delightful. Frozen food has come such a long way.
While I taste test that, Cass, what are you having?
Oh, yeah, I'm drinking a Monster Energy Ultraviolet. How about you, Slow Beef?
Signature Select Seltzer Water Original, which is in bulk the best value seltzer I can find.
I was with a roommate who was trying to find good seltzer for a while. So hopefully Carmen's in chat right now, and hopefully they're taking notes on this.
This comes to about $4.50 a sleeve, which is like excluding sales, the best like I can find consistently. I'm not like a deal person, like a shopper kind of person. Like my wife is bigger on deals and bargains and things, but for whatever reason, seltzer, I'm obsessed with finding the best price for.
So if you want the best quality, Magic Mouse Carmen in chat is saying Spindrift is the good seltzer. I think that might be their tagline.
I'm a big fan of Spindrift. When I feel like splurging, that is like, when I've kids' birthdays or something, But
the water, is also that ties into the game. So you've brought the most appropriate snack of all of us for this occasion.
Nothing. I'm thematically appropriate.
How much cilantro is in the game? Which to say, I'm very lucky to not have the cilantro taste like soap gene. I think I have it a little bit because when I have cilantro, there's a little hint of that kind of tastes like soap. But this is good. Actually, for a frozen food, actually, this is very good. I don't have a lot to compare it to because I don't have Indian food quite that often. But hey, for the first time in like probably over a decade, having something adjacent to it, yeah, this is real good. Go on.
No, I have to travel to India for work like 2-3 times a year lately, and every time I go, I want to try new and different food, but everyone who comes with me doesn't, so I always get screwed out of it somehow.
That's the worst luck.
Next time you go, bring this frozen Suki's fruit from America to show everybody what like true cuisine is like. So this is what you're missing out on. Like back in America, we did it better.
It's true, and it's fair. It's true, and you should say it.
Yes. All right, and I think that will do it for Turkey Stream Snack.
Very good. Thank you. A lot of stupid bits we have on this show, but I think that is genuinely my favorite thing to do. God knows I don't really go for these video games. Anyway, if we can stall the video game out a little bit longer, how about we get into a little bit of history on the Immortal? Cut to that 4:3 screen. And I sent Slow Beef, I sent them a look at this document that I assembled in an hour and a half before the show. I could see the fear in their eyes as they saw how much text there was to sit through. I promise this will be quicker than it looks on the page. I lied. So I'm going to kick this off with a quote. A wise man once said, "I don't know who the hell Will Harvey is, if he made any other games." Well, this is Will Harvey here. And his music construction set. More on that in a minute. Will Harvey was born...
He looks like he was generated from AI. Like, he absolutely wasn't. But, like, look at it. I've never seen him before. But, oh, my God. That's a demon-made person. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, by all means. Please don't worry about interrupting this section. It's very stupid that we open up our video game stream with an hour-long dissertation or what have you. So all the levity it can get. All the photos of Will Harvey were taken in around 1984 with the release of his music construction set. And then this man stopped being photographed. This man keeps information about himself to a minimum. He was born in either 1966 or 1967. No way of knowing for sure until he deigns to provide that information. But yeah, there's a lot of photos of him looking like a dweeb at, I believe, this would make him like 20 or 17 years old, give or take, when he took these photos, when he did this photo set. And believe me, there's a few more photos of him.
I was asking if this was like 17 or 12.
One of the two. Anyway, this is a brief quote from the Compute Gazette, issue 11, an interview with Will Harvey, taken in 1984. "Computers are just another hobby for me," he says. "I wouldn't consider it a profession or anything that takes precedence over any of my other activities." Those other activities are many and varied. 17-year-old Harvey is president of the student body at Upland Senior High School near his home in Foster City, California. A straight-A student, he plays football and basketball, sings in the school chorus, and is an Eagle Scout. So there you go. I think they go on to ask him some follow-up questions, like, so are you very popular in school? And I'm like, dog, he's a straight-A student, he's in the chorus, and he makes computer games. He's probably the talk of the town at his school. So in 1979, he acquires a Commodore PET, his first computer, which he paid for with earnings from a newspaper delivery route, and as well as splitting the cost of his parents. The first program he developed was a project for a mathematics class to implement Wythoff's game, which is a classic computing experiment. So he managed to write that for a Commodore PET. Then he wrote a program called Grade Base Manager for his mother, who was a teacher at Menlo College. It was a program to automate norm reference tests. So really exciting stuff right out the gate for this man. You could tell his passion for games was clear. But, ultimately he does come around to this video game thing. If you got a computer in the late 80s, mid 80s, you're going to do some amount of gaming on it.
He does sound like the nerd character from an 80s movie, escaped from the theater and came to life, right? At some point, he's going to stand up to the bully of a teacher they have and give an impassioned speech that, gets everyone to clap.
And then gets promptly swirled. So, sure. If there's any justice in the world, So, Harvey...
Are we anti-him tonight? Or is this the stance we're taking? We don't like him?
Well, we're going to get to some details about him, some projects he's involved with later in life that may raise some questions. I don't know. He seems fine. He doesn't seem like, Hitler or anything, so it's...
Yeah, I wouldn't compare him to, let's say Jeffrey Epstein, right? But his game sucks, and it makes me want to be really vindictive, but I won't. All right, that's not true. He does really mean. You're going to see some really mean things in the Immortal that make me kind of grimace a bit. But that said, I'm sure he seems like a fine person or whatever, outside of his gaming designing life.
We will let history be the judge of him. The history section, that is. So, Harvey trades his PET in for an Apple II within a few years' time. Shortly after that, he begins work on what was to be his first video game, Lancaster. He said the game's name was derived from the logo's design. I was designing a logo and I didn't know what to call it. The letters LANC fit together pretty nicely, so I had to think on what on earth began with Lank that I could call the game, per an interview with Microtimes Volume 1, Issue 2, archived here. So literally just found 4 letters that looked kind of cool together and then had to build the title off of that and then build a game off the back of that too. It's just a generic shmup type thing. It's just kind of abstracted. It's got some pretty enough visuals, but nothing special, nothing to indicate what was to come. Next bit of snippet is from a 2004 interview conducted with Will on behalf of ACMQ, which I believe is the American Computer something or other. Anyway, this is from Will Harvey. In the early 80s, there was no barrier of entry for people writing video games. I taught myself assembly language from Roger Wagner's Assembly Lines column in the back of a Soft Talk magazine for the Apple II and managed to put together a game that was as good as the games, at least in my opinion, that people were selling. The coding style was horrible. I was just a 15-year-old high schooler. I didn't know anything. But the next step was to find a publisher. I didn't even drive at the time, so I took the bus to the computer store and looked for a computer game that had good package artwork. How else would you choose a publisher other than the packaging? So, after consulting the contact information on the back of a particularly compelling box, Harvey contacted the president of one Sirius Software and set a meeting. This president took the call and said, come on down. He gets off the train. They assemble a full team to look at his game. They make some polite suggestions for a few changes that they want him to make. And he says no. He is a very headstrong 15-year-old, and he goes on to...
Because he's the one in the power position here.
Yeah, clearly, he's the tech genius. He's the whiz kid. So he sells his game to a different studio, one Silicon Valley Systems, who publishes it in 1983 and doesn't tell him to change a thing. So that's a good enough deal for him, I suppose. It was not particularly successful, the release of this game, but during the game's development, Will had kind of accidentally gone and programmed something in the process that would turn out to be his first true taste of success in the software industry. This, of course, brings us to Will Harvey's music construction set. From that same interview, I needed to have music in the game, speaking about Lancaster. I didn't know too much about it, so I wrote a music editor, kind of like a word processor that would allow you to copy sheet music onto the screen, then convert it to MIDI, which was just beginning at the time, and play it back for you. It would also save it as a MIDI file, so I could then have the game play it in the background. Getting away from the quote, in the process of creating this program that would allow him to program sheet music, program these MIDIs, he found out that creating music on the computer was fun. So having completed Lancaster, sold it, been done with that, he set to work on a program that would allow people to learn about and have fun with music for his next piece of software. This comes from a issue of Compute Gazette, issue 11, which I believe he actually did reference earlier. Will goes on to say, I didn't know much about music beforehand. I went up to people in the school chorus and asked them questions. The more I learned and put into the program, the more I realized that this was a fun thing to do. What the program could do for people was to provide an environment where they could learn about composing and playing music without having to learn an instrument. Another aspect of the program that Harvey discovered later was its use as a tool. It's very much like a word processor for music. It lets you move around notes and transpose music just like you would move around text when you're writing something. So Electronic Arts, maybe you've heard of them, go on to discover Harvey through one of their programmers and took up publishing rights for the music instruction set in 1984, a naming convention established previously with EA's publishing of Bill Budge's pinball construction set back in 1982, big piece of software for the Apple II and for other home computers. Many a pinball was made and played. Music instruction set, for its part, would wind up releasing across the Apple II, Atari 8-bits and ST, C64, IBM PCs, and ultimately go on to make Will Harvey something of an overnight celebrity in the software scene, owing to his name appearing prominently on the game's box, something that EA used to do back in the day to differentiate themselves from more anonymous software houses. Oh, how far they have come. Oh, how...
Yeah, the only game creator they put on the name of a box anymore is John Madden. They've kind of like moved away from everyone else.
I mean, he's such a genius of programming, that man. I mean, I stand in awe of him. So yeah, this is where all those sort of interviews start to come from, all those photos I got taken of Will Harvey, because newspapers really latched onto the story of this 15-year-old kid who had developed a million-selling piece of software and was poised to make a career in this burgeoning computer field. But he was not the only whiz kid of his era. 2 years after Music Instruction Set's original release in 1984, in 1986, this is to say, Will Harvey released a port for the 16-bit Apple IIGS, utilizing its advanced sound capabilities. It's likely during this period where Harvey learned to fall in love with the IIGS, which would become his primary platform of choice for development over the course of the next several years. It was also during this time that Harvey began to assemble what was to be his dream team, a small circle of like-minded game designers comprised of Ian Gooding, Michael Marcantel, Brett G. Durrett, and occasional contributor Douglas Fulton. This team would call themselves Sandcastle, not to be confused with the LP Sandcastle, and eventually go on to form a company all their own. But for the time being in our story, they are simply a group of computer whiz kids, barely adults, the lot of them. Some of these kids still in high school or just getting started in college at the time they're entering into this burgeoning games industry. So this page is actually from the Genesis manual for the Immortal, which EA, another thing they used to do was have like bios on their developers written in the instruction manuals. Imagine that now. Imagine if every developer on like a Madden had their own like paragraph, their own snippet that you had to sit through and read.
The 2,000-page tome of who made Madden this year.
I owned this too. Wow, and I totally didn't realize. Oh, here's another one of his games. I see. Yep.
Well, you can see because he's got a name on the box. He won't let you forget that this is Will Harvey's Zany Golf, but more on that in a second. Shortly before the formation of the Sandcastle, Will's first proper video game product on EA's behalf would have been 1986's conversion of Will Cerny's Marble Madness to the Apple IIGS, a rather unspectacular credit in the grand scheme of things, but it's also at around this time that Harvey settled into his trademark as a game developer. Elaborate Easter eggs. The following comes from a Frank Cifaldi interview, shouts out Frank, with Will Harvey for Game Developer, conducted back in 2005. To quote, Harvey's games had an underground reputation for having some of the most obscure and difficult to access Easter eggs around. Harvey's Marble Madness conversion, for which original creator Mark Cerny was unaware of there being a secret level until after the game had shipped, is a prime example. After accessing the level by a secret elevator, the player reaches a large level with lily pads across a river, and, as Harvey details, so the puzzle here is that there's no way of solving this level by yourself. You can only solve it if you're playing in two-player mode with a friend, and if both of you sit on the secret elevator and get lowered into the secret level, and then on each side of the river there's a tile that's a special color, and then when either of your marbles is sitting on a red tile, the lily pad won't eat your marble. So the way to solve this is that one of you keeps his marble on the red tile, the other crosses the river on the lily pad. I'm sure that makes sense to someone. I'm sure that makes sense if you've played this Apple IIGS version of Marble Madness. But I mean, who hasn't? 2 years later, in 1988, Sandcastle would convene to develop 1988's Zany Golf, or as it is more formally known, Will Harvey's Zany Golf. Hence the title graphic there, for home computers and later for the Sega Genesis. This simulation of miniature golf spans 10 holes, features 4-player alternating play, and of course, hides another elaborate Easter egg from that same game developer article. As Harvey explains of the electricity hole, there were a couple of small mouse holes in the cement wall of the laboratory. Occasionally, you would see little mouse eyes blink inside the hole, and if you shot your ball into the mouse hole, the mouse would kick your ball out. But if you got right in front of the mouse hole, and then watched very carefully for 2 to 3 minutes, bloodshot mouse eyes would peer out for just a fraction of a second, and if you hit the ball in the hole in that exact fraction of a second, then you'd be taken to the secret hole. This man sounds like the most tedious man in the world in terms of his game design. These Easter eggs sound like they suck. I know they're whole levels he hit in his games, but my God, man. Just, like, put your name somewhere in the game. Just, like, hide your name on a wall or something, man. What are you trying to prove? Now,
I like the Marble Madness one because it is also, like, an insanely difficult sort of Easter egg, which is, like, kind of one of the things that I've always associated with Will Harvey, which is, like, his games always have some weirdly difficult thing in them, or at least the Immortal does. But I think these other ones, like Zany Golf, does as well, as you were saying.
yeah, no, they're definitely meeting the criteria here. He's not dodging the allegations about being a hard ass when it comes to game design. But, you know.
I feel like his Easter egg ethos seems to be the same kind of thing that kids on the playground would say about Ocarina of Time, right? About how you can actually get the Triforce. Like, if it was Will Harvey's Ocarina of Time, like, that would be real.
But in the interim, both these games that we just covered, the Marble Madness, the Zany Golf, they're cute, right? You know, Will, he even got to put his name on the box again with that golf game. That's so cute. But for his next game, what was to be Will's last proper video game, as a matter of fact, the ambitions on display were to be much higher. Hey, there's another photo of our whiz kid typing away on his Apple there. It should be mentioned.
Benjamin Button. Is that where you don't have newer pictures of him?
Yeah, he's fully regressed at this point. He just doesn't want the world to see his condition. It's tragic, really. So I guess we do feel bad for him now. If you want to, be impressed by him in some capacity, it should be mentioned that all this time while Harvey was plugging away developing software for EA, he was also simultaneously pursuing his PhD in computer science at Stanford University. I guess computers wound up being a little more than just a hobby for him, huh? He speaks briefly on wrestling the temptation to pursue video game development full-time versus committing to the college route in an interview with Sramana Mitra's 1 Million by 1 Million blog, which is some business entrepreneur CEO type blog. But hey, they got an interview with Will Harvey, so. Will says, there was certainly the temptation to leave college and pursue game development. The popular video games I had written paid more than $1 million. To a college student, that's a lot of money. I stuck with school thinking that in the long run, that would be important. And it was. I was very eager to finish graduate school because I wanted to continue in the area I was working. I was motivated to get through school that much faster. Now, being so heavily vested in the world of computers at this point in the late 80s meant that Harvey would have been there on the ground floor of the early internet, able to see the future that laid in internet connectivity and eager to capitalize on it. The following comes from Now Gamer's article on the making of the Immortal. It was around this time that Harvey began to brainstorm the concept of a fantasy role-playing title, but with a twist that would have been tremendously unique for the time. I wanted to make an online graphical adventure, Steve remembers. This was a tall order, or Will, I should say, remembers. Steve Will, same name, right? This was a tall order and a bold move when you consider the fact that the internet was still very much in its infancy back in the early 90s. Nevertheless, Will Harvey persevered with his grandiose plan, assembling a crack team of artists and programmers, which included Brett, Michael, and Ian Gooding, two of those names mentioned earlier. Harvey set about crafting what would eventually evolve into a wholly unprecedented fantasy epic. The project was initially christened Campaign, which gives an indication of where Harvey was headed with his original vision. Initially, it was playable with others over a modem, which was very cool. The idea involved each player selecting a different fantasy role, an elf, warrior, wizard, so on and so forth, and setting off into the uncharted wilderness of the World Wide Web for fame and fortune. The name was later changed to the Immortal, and Harvey discovered that as he and his team tinkered with the project, it began to shake off its online aspirations. Over time, the focus became the storyline instead of the online plan, he comments. Eventually, the team realized that if they were to incorporate an arresting plot, the online multiplayer would have to be sacrificed entirely. The focus was duly altered, and as a result, the Immortal became a resolutely single-player adventure. Harvey didn't want his new game to blend into the crowd and nurtured definite ideas regarding the kind of experience he wanted to create. Rather than follow the cliched route of pitting good against evil in a fantasy environment, the team decided to force players to think carefully about what course of action they took. We had a theme to the storyline. That is to say, the story had a point, or a moral. The moral was, think before you act, be aware of the consequences of your actions. This moral is supported by the plot. As the player descended even further into the labyrinth, this became more and more apparent, and several moral judgments had to be made in order to progress, the actions of which had a telling impact on the eventual outcome of the adventure. For example, if you indiscriminately kill goblins, then you will miss the opportunity to make allies of them later in the quest, explains Harvey. You can still finish the game, but you get a different ending at best. Few games of this type ever attempted to portray tangible consequences to the player's actions in the same way the Immortal did. One characteristic of the Immortal that went down slightly less well with many sectors of the gaming public was the preference for unpredictable and wholly unexpected deaths. At many points within the game, the player would be killed simply for stepping on the wrong spot or speaking to a character without having a certain item in their inventory. Playing without a guidebook quickly changed the game into an almost tiresome process of trial and error. It was essential to find out what mistakes to avoid by dying a few times, then completing the level with this vital knowledge in hand. To some, this kind of structure proved to be almost insurmountable obstacle to the enjoyment, but to others, it harkened back to the unforgiving graphical adventures of old and gave the game an edgy, unpredictable quality. At times, the level of tension was almost unbearable, and it made players more wary of wandering into situations that might prove to be fatal. Besides, the elaborate player death animations often went some way to softening the disappointment of an unexpected demise. We also have some details on the Genesis conversion, which was headed by a programmer, Kevin McGrath, and they were interviewed in around 2025 by Sega Retro, by Alexander Rojas on behalf of Sega Retro. And this is what they have to say on the process of converting the Immortal. The Immortal port went as well as can be expected, in my opinion. I was given 768 kilobytes of cartridge ROM to work a 2 megabyte game into, and once I got it to fit, they increased it to 1 megabyte of ROM. This meant I had a huge amount of ROM left over, so we decided to fill it with this very gory animated death cutscenes. The industry rumor mill has it that the Genesis version of the Immortal influenced Mortal Kombat to make gory animated death scenes, but I was influenced by the Apple II swashbuckler game I used to play at Dynamics. I got the keystrokes down so I could always decapitate my opponent. So here's the thing. The deaths we're familiar with in the Genesis version of this game, and in some capacity the NES version, which I know toned down the violence, took the blood out and whatnot. This was an invention, according to this man. He takes credit for that. And you'll see when we get to the Apple IIGS version, none of that stuff. It does not have the gory death animations. In fact, it's missing a few things that make it a interesting version, the original vision that it is. But that's just a little bit of insight into the development of the game, as much as is out there. That Now Gamer article is pretty good, covers a lot of ground. So to think, this game started as like a proto-MMO. That was the intention. Didn't quite turn out that way, needless to say. But were you aware of any of that? Did you ever hear tell of that at any point?
So after the fact, like after I did the Let's Play and everything like that, I did read about the MMO thing. Yeah, I was really surprised by that, because it's one of those things, like, I guess you can kind of see it in retrospect when you play the game as the wizard. Like, okay, I can see where character classes come in, but it is a very linear experience. And I don't think, like, everything he describes is in there. Like, no matter how you kind of work with the goblins, they're always like they always act a certain way as the game goes on. So
There's only 2 endings and only one decision you make that influences the ending. So I think he's either lying to himself or is forgetting things or something along those lines.
something like
finally made it.
maybe the intention was
Branch.
there, but it never got fully implemented or something like that. Yeah, it's either misremembering or lying like the jerk he is. But
Goddamn Will Harvey. I knew I didn't like this man. I told you we were against him from the start. Thank you to Raiders, by the way. Howdy there. We're just covering the history of the Immortal. And speaking of the Immortal, game comes out, has to come out eventually. That's why we're here today, isn't it? It releases across the Apple IIGS and NES in November 1990. The other home computer versions likely come out around this time as well. And I've got a few reviews here that I want to read of some of the contemporary versions of the Immortal. First, we have Jane Goldman's 88% scoring review of the Amiga release of the Immortal for Zero magazine, archived here. Quote, "All told, Immortal is challenging, compelling, and good value for money, but the best thing about it is that it has a darn near perfect balance of arcade action, puzzle solving, and text. It's not a text adventure with a few useless arcade sequences thrown in, or an arcade game with an adventure flavor and a bit of crap text that doesn't really need to be there. It's actually one of those rare arcade adventures that actually lives up to its name." We have here a review of the NES version from Nintendo Power, 4.3 out of 5 scoring review. "Prepare yourself for a dungeon adventure like no other. Your surroundings are portrayed in detailed 3-dimensional graphics with some of the best character animation ever seen on the NES. An epic tale of daring, danger, and deceit will unfold before you in the Immortal."
I feel like if you got a 4.3 out of 5 in Nintendo Power, that was basically like a D minus, like on the curve.
Yeah.
But
Blam this piece of crap, to put it in Newgrounds parlance.
That's my favorite bits of like Nintendo Power magazines, all that kind of stuff, is when they talked about a game that came out with like one paragraph hidden somewhere, ashamed to admit that it came out, like Mylon Secret Castle. Now that had a huge spread though, right? To tell you how to do shit.
Yeah, no, that was a essential, one might say, in the solving of that game. Hey, folks, join our Discord, discord.gg/BGHOF. We're playing Mylon Secret Castle in the Bad Game Club right now, our game of the month.
Yeah.
Suffer.
Yeah, I wonder why that was the first game I thought of.
It's on the mind. Speaking of on the mind, how about that Genesis release? Did it get reviewed? Oh, it sure did. This is Jeremy Daldry and their review. A 92% scoring review of the Genesis release of the Immortal for Game Zone magazine. Sometimes it's a bit of a narc having to restart from the beginning of a level. Just going through and collecting the same equipment and info that you know you need feels a bit like a waste of time. But apart from that rather hair-splittingly small moan, the Immortal has been brilliantly converted to the Mega Drive. The Immortal is the best graphic adventure around, leading the field by a couple thousand years. It's a true classic. Great stuff. Love it.
I refuse to accept narc as a word, like NARK, like that. I
thought it was Lark. I was like, did he typo Lark? Did he mean to say Lark? No, I think it's apparently just some UK parlance. So I really should have wrote that whole thing out in a British accent, but missed opportunity. Now, those are some pretty positive reviews. I found one kind of negative review, and it's not even a scoring review. This is from Computer Gaming World. This is from reviewer Matt Lawrence, covering the Amiga version. This is actually preserved by means of the game history, the VGHF, and their digital archives. So shouts again to Frank for helping provide the world with this vital service. And so we read, "Though the Immortal tries to position itself as a computer role-playing game, it is not completely successful. The action sequences, particularly combat scenarios, are fairly well executed, and the puzzle and traps are clever enough to require a good bit of brain twisting to solve. However, the big problem with the Immortal is in the very structure of the game. While trying to be action-oriented, the game manages to keep an adventuring flavor, but tends to be excessively linear in its approach. There is little room for creative experimentation in the game, since one's path is more or less clear, and attributes and skills are not improved. The Immortal is basically an intensely graphic action adventure masquerading as a CRPG. The Immortal, while gamely attempting to forge the front of the CRPG market, misses the mark. The game is stylish and atmospheric with superb audiovisual frills, but in spite of its positioning, it is better suited to clever adventurers with an accurate wrist and a lot of patience than the traditional CRPG market."
This concludes my review of Fallout 3.
So, not a lot of dissenting voices in this time. There was a bunch more. Most reviews of this game are not written in English. They're written in German, as a matter of fact. German mags really love this game, really seem to. But I mean, all those Amiga sickos, all those home computer sickos over there. Like, what else did they have to play, really? Right. I think the sort of opinions of this game now exist because of a certain Let's Play, and also the AVGN video having come out about, I think they do the NES version in that, and that sort of modern retrospective has overridden, the actual contemporaneous reviews of the time.
Isn't that the one he did all in one take or something?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one to ask about that.
I seem to remember him doing that review and then like doing a behind the scenes thing because he was so proud of doing it all in one take, which, to be fair, yes, accomplishment, but yeah, he does really care more about filmmaking than he does about games, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? We do all these streams in one fucking take, so
That's
balls
true.
in your court, James. So how about that Will Harvey fella? What'd he get up to after this game came out, after the Immortal's very mortal shelf life in the year 1990 and 1991? Well, here's my favorite picture of him, for starters.
God.
I was so pleased to find this picture, by the way. So, Now Gamer's article on the making of the Immortal has another bit of insight to the game's post-release, its immediate success or lack thereof. Although the Immortal garnered worldwide success and healthy sales, it wasn't enough to gain a sequel. Sandcastle Entertainment began to dabble in online gaming technology, creating tools that permitted smooth, lag-free gaming between online players. The company was eventually purchased by Adobe in 1997. Now we return... Oh, please.
He looks like try-hard Dexter here,
Failing upwards, yes.
Right.
He looks like the lead of a Ringo cover band.
Well, I don't know. He looks like a cool guy to me. I'm going to stand up for him now. I'm flip-flopping.
Did I say he didn't look like a cool guy?
No, you just heavily implied it. So, we go back to that learning from failures. Actually, this is the first time I'm mentioning this one. Sramana Miltra interviewed Will Harvey for the 1 million by 1 million blog. Well, he did totally mention this. It's one take, to take that, James Rolfe. We show our mistakes on screen. We show all the outtakes.
Yeah, one take and one try.
I'm so glad we've gotten to own Will Harvey and James Rolfe on this.
Oh, we're coming
take.
for everybody. Yeah. There ain't no one safe on the Bad Game Hall of... So, this is a quote from Will Harvey. The video game company, he's referring to Sandcastle here, was sold just after I finished my PhD. I sold it because the company that I created was an outgrowth of the efforts I put into video games when I was a high school student. In the early 1980s, a single person could write a video game. A single person could do the music, write code, and do the artwork. As the video game industry grew, it was no longer possible for one person to write an entire video game. You needed a team of people to do art, a few programmers to code the logic, and a team for music. Consequently, in college, the company that I had started was just growing naturally due to the requirements of the industry. During graduate school, I realized that I did not know how to grow the company beyond that size. I was self-taught. I had never gone to business school. All I understood was how to be a developer. Recognizing that I was at a plateau with my abilities, I decided to sell my company to another company. Then I could learn for other people. By the way, that company was sold for all of $1 million, according to some text later in the interview. Now, this acquisition by Adobe means that the members of the Sandcastle would go their separate ways at this point, and that Will Harvey would have to ply his trade at a new company in the interim while he worked on establishing his next major venture into computer space. But where was a former computer whiz kid turned business-minded adult to go at this point in time? Okay, so from that 1 million by 1 million blog, Will admits, I quickly became the VP of engineering for Rocket Science Games. It was a San Francisco company that was a high-profile VC-backed startup. Working at that company, I learned about VC, financing a startup, and building a company that could become a big company rather than building a small company that was stuck with no growth options. So Rocket Science Games, are either of you familiar with this company?
It's like awakening a deep memory, but not enough that I can recall off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, I'm not familiar personally.
So, badgamehallofame.com/lodestar-the-legend-of-Tully-Bodine for their flagship product, which was programmed in part by a low-level programmer by the name of Elon Musk at a point in time where he was a video game developer and made some absolute dog shit in this time. Veslas in chat mentions Obsidian. Yes, that's an actual good game they made later down the line. But this company's obsession was trying to create what they called Sillywood, as in Silicon Valley would. They were making these FMV games with budgets up the wazoo. There's a whole story behind it. And when Will here is talking about learning about VC, it's because the founder of rocket science was this fucking guy by the name of Steve Blank, who is called the father of modern entrepreneurship. And he ran this company into the ground. Like, make no mistake, this company, huge failure, burned through millions of dollars. By the time that Will was hopping onto the company, they were already like in their death rattles. They were already spiraling down the sink in a failed contract with Sega to produce games on their behalf. And it's just
that's
who
you want
mess.
to learn from.
So, but, you know, father of modern entrepreneurship. And yeah, from the way that Will talks in that interview, it's absolutely the case that this fucking Steve Blank guy got in his ear and said, hey, man, you know where the real money is? Just fucking venture capital shit, financing companies. Don't worry about being a programmer. That shit's not going to pay the bills. Just be in charge of companies that are staffed by programmers. And so that's ultimately the direction that Harvey would start to take in the years to follow. Now, you can read that article for the full story, by the way, if anyone's at all interested in what Elon Musk was up to in 1992 or 3. Unfortunate.
Just by weird coincidence, and this is a true story, at dinner today, my daughter said that she yelled out in class, apparently, that Elon's a fraud when a student was talking good about it. So, you know, I'm just...
You raised him well.
Right, yeah. But anyway.
So, Harvey established There Incorporated in 1998 from a room in his parents' house, working alongside artist Jeffrey Ventrella to create the immersive and open-ended virtual 3D world There. This serves as his next project down the line. A 2004 interview conducted with Will Harvey on behalf of ACMQ. I started There in 1998. I funded it myself for the first year and hired a brilliant prototyper to work with me in creating what There would be like. When you're building something like There, you want to get everyone on the same page for exactly what you're building. It's very easy to describe something and then have 4 different people have 4 completely different ideas about what it is. Our general plans are to get it to work with everyone's computer and ultimately on devices that aren't computers. There's a virtual world that exists as electrons on a bank of servers in our data center. So you can imagine logging into that virtual world through many kinds of devices that have different display capabilities, a cell phone, television set, game console, or computer. Your manner of logging in, your portal to the world, obviously would be different on each of those different devices. And this is just a random quote from later in the article. The metaverse is something like version 25 of what we're doing now. It's 10 years out in the future that people will be doing things approaching the metaverse. If you don't focus on version 1, what you can accomplish and what value you're delivering to users at the very beginning, then you just get lost. Have any of you ever heard of There? It's still online. This thing is still online. This is like a proto Second Life type thing. Or, you know, ever heard of IMVU? You know that fucking thing that like that gets advertised all over the place?
I definitely know that thing because I was on the internet.
Yeah, so
as a teenager.
So it's like, kind of like one of those, right? Funny I should mention IMVU.
Oh, brother.
So... further details from that Now Gamer article. Although it wasn't originally designed with communication and social interaction in mind, Harvey found that the company's investors, The Thing, or There, I should say, didn't share his utopian vision, and in 2004, the decision was made to ditch the consumer side of the business and develop exclusively for more profitable military and government applications of the technology. Now, Harvey had left by this point already. He wasn't there for the military and government stuff. He wasn't there to see it co-opted in that way. So he can at least have that to his name. So in 2004, he was already working on a tantalizing new project called IMVU, the next generation of instant messaging. Using fully customizable 3D avatars, people from all over the world are now able to create themselves in an online world and converse with friends as if they were in the same space. According to Harvey, the service has over 7 million users and is growing faster than more traditional social networking sites like MySpace. This put a fine vintage on that article. I also have the Frank Cifaldi interview with Will Harvey, conducted in 2005, just to put a timestamp on this one as well, where Harvey goes on to talk about IMVU, which was still being actively worked on by him at that time. Harvey left there in early 2003 due to the company's drastic change in direction. They started focusing on creating simulation software for military situations as a defense contractor, said Harvey. That was a decision that was supported by our investors. My personal interest is in creating entertaining experiences. Harvey went back to his original vision, more or less, by starting IMVU, which remains his latest adventure. The product allows you to get a free avatar and to move the 3D instant messenger to chat and hang out with your friends for free forever, he said. And the way we make money is that you can buy virtual clothes and virtual scenes or backgrounds to customize your avatar to the way that you like. Content in IMVU, including 3D objects, are made by third-party developers using a system of simple tools created by Harvey and his team. Harvey sounds genuinely excited when discussing the game's economy. You don't say, Frank. When that user-created item is sold to the game's catalog, the proceeds are split 3 ways between the user, the third party, and IMVU. So each person gets a piece of those proceeds, and each person can even set the price of the object. So basically, the user is able to set his markup over the wholesale price that the original developer set. And the wholesale price that the original developer has set is a markup over what we call the electron cost. So each person can be a businessman and can essentially run his own business. I hate this. I hate this shit.
I guess you can't say that he wasn't on the cutting edge of the shit.
No, he
It's
was.
funny, like, it's like up and down, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, he leaves before all the military application stuff, like, and wants to make entertaining stuff. Like, great. And then it's like, now here's how you run a business with social media chat. Like, oh, well, you were almost, you know.
It's that Steve Blank motherfucker. It's those rocket science game goons. We got to do Lodestar one of these days on the show. I'm so sorry in advance to anyone who has to be there for that history section. You think this is bad?
It's also weird seeing him talk about like the metaverse in like
2004,
which, you know, you forget that, you know, Snow Crash came out in 1992, so of course.
Oh, he references Snow Crash. He's like,
everyone does.
Yeah, you know,
all these fucking nerds, all these fucking VC nerds reference Snow Crash.
Well, that would be 2005 when IMVU launched. So where is he now? Well, he's on AZ Quotes, where you can see this hilariously low-res picture of him, the only modern picture that exists of him, I think. And he's a big enough deal to be on AZ Quotes, you know, that bastion of human civilization and intelligentsia. So Will Harvey actually remains chairman of IMVU to this very day. At the same time, he's also the CEO of the order management software company, Finale Inventory, where he endeavors to lead his team in the pursuit of, quote, helping growing businesses optimize their inventory-related operations. We are cut from the same cloth as our customers. Small and medium-sized businesses like solving problems. They prove in every industry that Excel combined with human cleverness goes a long way. And when they are ready to step up to an integrated IMS, OMS, WMS software solution, they know what problems they need solved, and they find us. That's our call at Finale Inventory, and we love the calling as much as our customers. That's a snippet from Will Harvey's LinkedIn profile.
He's on LinkedIn? He's a person? This is like, look at him though. He's like if Pennywise like transformed into like a businessman. And I like my mouth is like agape at this quote. It's like so dark.
Like at the top of the show, you asked if the first picture was AI generated.
You better believe, I know for a fact, without even looking, that he's into it and loves this AI shit. He's like, I wish I was around back in the day. I'm sure you could find him, track him down, and get him to say that on the record. Or maybe not, because he's very elusive these days, more so than he was back then, to be sure. Hence why he's so rarely photographed. And all we have are wonderful quotes like this AZ Quotes thing here. Charky, can you hit us with just read that line for me? The one on screen, I guess so.
Every pessimist who ever lived has been buried in an unmarked grave. Tomorrow has always been better than today, and it always will be.
What a stupid quote. That's like saying like everyone who ever drank water died. And it's like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, no, been buried in an unmarked grave.
No one ever cared about a pessimist ever. That has never happened in human history.
So I get the idea this guy's become a bit of a dunce since becoming successful.
What should I etch into John's tombstone? Nothing, that pessimist. He believed in nothing. Throw him in the bunker, in the zany golf bunker.
Bury his body in lye so it doesn't stink the place up.
Is this the plot of Pluribus?
Well, with all that squared away, we can close the chapter and we can finally answer the question of who is Will Harvey? Well, he's a guy who made a couple games, then he made some questionable decisions, and now he goes to bed in like a Scrooge McDuck vault or whatever rich people do. And now, we can get to the game. We can get to the game we came here to play. How's that for a fucking intro, huh? How's that? Nearly an hour?
Excellent.
All right, cool. This is how we fill out 3 hours when we know the game is short. Now, wait, hold on. I can stall a little longer before we play the Genesis version. I have one more trick up my sleeve. Why don't we take a look at the Apple IIGS version, the original, at least for a minute or two, which
Sure.
is how long it'll probably take my Apple IIGS. Let me just dust it off. All right, let's get this thing booted up. Let's get this going and see what the foundation is that we're starting from here. Oh, man.
Gosh.
If this takes anyone in the chat back, congratulations on being retired and 70 years old, I presume. Must be nice. All right, so this is an Apple IIGS, more or less. This is running in GS+. The Immortal is notoriously finicky to run, and this emulator, despite being the best, it's only in version 0.14 and seems to have a lot of joystick issues. So this would not be a great platform on which to play the entirety of a given video game. So that's another reason why we didn't stick with this for the whole of the playthrough. You know, that and the lack of save states and rewind and modern creature comforts. But we do have a .solve file, some Word file. Well, let's get this launched. Why don't we?
Press in chat to play Arkanoid.
Yeah, I found some like compilation disc that's just like pirated versions of 5 or so Apple IIGS games. The Immortal's one of them, and it seemed like the easiest way to run the game.
What a font. Never really appreciated
Never
it.
really
but-
sat back and no,
Yeah.
it's fantasy to a T. There's your list of credits.
5 people wrote this? There's not much story to it, though.
Written also means programming in this
Oh,
context.
okay, fair. Yeah.
Now, it's going to start momentarily. It is loading in the background right now. Completely different soundtrack in this game than in any of the other conversions. So the soundtrack you're familiar with, not really present here. You know what else isn't present?
Get out of here. Oh.
The original version of the Immortal does not have nearly a tenth of the traps that exist in every other conversion of the game. There are traps, mind you. We will find a trap, but
I like how all you had to do was walk to the left one step, and Slope was like, "Oh, come on!"
We won't even read this. We'll read this when we get in the Genesis game. It's the same text, same story.
Yeah.
They haven't changed up anything too significant in that regard. Also, you can't skip this. You can't hold down a button to speed through this, so you're getting the full text every time. I really do like.
I can't stop seeing Rob the Robot in the lower left and right corners.
Oh my god!
Oh wow, yeah. He's like chained to the dragon.
Or he's holding the dragon. He's choking out the dragon on both
No,
ends.
he's got the dragon as a
can see
pet.
that.
Claw
Yeah.
arms.
Okay. I thought he was handcuffed to the dragon, like the dragon arrested him. But no, I see your interpretation. I like that better. Yeah.
Well, we're on our quest. So far, looking pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same items. All right, combat. Let's see that cutaway screen.
Uh-huh. Seen this before.
No stamina meters. No, you have our health at the top for what it's worth.
Do you still have stamina to worry about?
It's hard to say.
There you go. Oh, it's so quick. Jeez.
To make it even
Power of the home
quicker,
computer.
I don't feel like fighting the next guy because I know he has a full health bar. So let's just speed this along a little bit. Inch a little closer. A little closer. Wonderful thing.
You just...
You must rescue Mortimer. Yes. What's this guy's name again? Ulrich?
Oh, oh shoot. I think you're right. I think it's something like Ulrich. Yeah.
It's in the manual. The manual, by the
Yeah.
way, extensive for the Genesis version. I believe this Apple IIGS version as well. It like would feature maps for several of the levels, give you character bios, give you most of the story of the game, beyond the twists that are revealed in the course of the game.
Right.
That might be Ullendor, unless that's our. No, we're not Ullendor.
No,
I think
Ullendor
that's
is
Ullendor.
correct. I had it right. I had Ull right. I got the UL. I was part way there.
Yeah, I think you're mixing up him and Dunrick.
Hmm.
No, I was thinking about Lars Ulrich of Metallica. He's just always kind of
yeah.
on the mind.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
He died
well.
very poorly. Oh, here we go.
Well, shit. I guess I'm not taking that gold. I guess I'm just gonna. You didn't see a
I think I
damn
made
thing.
my point.
Graphically, it looks a lot better. Like the door archways are kind of more defined, so you can identify them as such a thing, as opposed to Genesis version where it's just like here's some bumps. Oh, here we go. And you.
Absolutely not. You bet I can't. I don't know the fucking controls for getting out of the traps there. And no continues.
Oh wow.
You get the
It's
certificates
different.
at the end of every stage, but
It's like different in each one. I think. I feel like the NES one you can either hold up or rapid fire up, and then the Genesis one you have to do like I forget honestly, but oh, you have a certificate you can enter.
Genesis
theoretically.
1 says hang for a moment, then press D-pad up 3 times to swing forward, then up and out.
Okay, we'll bear that in mind, because that's as much as I need to see of the Apple IIGS version. That's as much of that as I care to sit through, which means it is now time. It is now finally time to let us play the Immortal. Why don't we? Give me just a second here as I get it booted, as I dust off my Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make this nice and big so that folk can see it. Also, I need to switch off the Apple IIGS is a mono system, I think, or at least that configuration of it is. So I have to change a few dials behind the scenes real quick. But you should be intimately familiar with this screen here, boy howdy.
I am. I even remember where that vampire Grim Reaper who has like teeth on top of his teeth. I never noticed that before, actually. That like weird upper jaw they're going with, but yeah.
It's a game that rewards you every time you play. You see something new, you observe something different about it.
Yeah, he's like summoned for all of like half a second, I think. Like spoiler, sorry, but you know.
Oh, well.
I feel like if you port a game to a different console, that your name should be put over the original person's name. Like it should be Kevin McGrath presents the Immortal. You should have done it while you had the chance, Will.
You think like one line through Will Harvey, like a correction, like red marker, that kind of, you know.
Like a big stamp over it, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, there it is.
In case folk were wondering why I was walking around in place in the first.
Jerks. Why are there even sandworms in the dungeon? Jeez.
All right, take it back to Blockbuster. I'm done.
Now, we're going to egregiously cheat here in our ways just to, speed this along a little bit. Let's get that story, why don't we? An image of the old wizard Mortimer leaps from the candle and begins to speak. Donric, you have come to save me. I am in the dungeons far below. I know I can count on you. This explains your old teacher's mysterious disappearance, but there is one thing strange about the message. Your name is not Dunric.
This is how you did like Outlook, like out of office kind of messages back in fantasy times.
I think that's a banger way to start your game. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm. I
think that's a incredible sort of mystery to open the game with. I think that's actually very good suspenseful writing. Now let's hope the game maintains that. Let's see if it keeps
I
that
rag
up.
on it, but there's stuff I really do like about the Immortal, and I actually do agree with that quite a lot. I do like that.
Then you immediately find Dunric's ring, which is a little bit of a red herring for where we are
Now
in the game
I am
right
Dunric.
I have become. Scroll with fireball spells, yes please.
I don't think you get like so many items at once. Oh, here we go.
Let me get the timing down on this. Who needs music for this, right?
Nah. You can just hold down the dodge button too. I'm just going straight. Like you don't have to reset to neutral if you don't like. There you go. See? And
Ah.
also, oh wait,
Gotta have a head explosion in a. I know it's on your
Absolutely.
docket. I know it's on your rider that we have to. So I'm glad we can.
can I give you another game tip for combat?
Please.
If you want to go faster, you go to left, right, like kind of hit it fast when you're going to slash them away. You can keep combos. So hold right, hold left, pull a C in right, hold C in left, hold right. Yep, looks like that. And then once the stamina kind of goes up high, or the fatigue meter, I guess, on the left goes up high enough, then you just go same way, just without the C button. Just go left, right,
Just
left,
go
right,
ham.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ham. It's
Exciting
like there's
combat.
a little bit of a rhythm to it, but not much. You know, there you go. Now, yep. Now he won't have time to like counter if you just keep going that way. Now, as your fatigue meter rises, you might get slow enough that he gets a hit in. So at some point, if you want to dunge again, but you should be able to get rid of him without it. Yep, there you
Nah, I
go.
like to live dangerously.
Yeah. These animations were great, too. I gotta tell you, I
The
used to
inspiration
love
from Mortal Kombat, according to one guy who worked on this.
I do like the detail of you can see their like dead body post animation in the overworld screen, you know?
And how it applies the death that you applied to them.
Yeah.
This guy was just telling us that we need to save Mortimer. He gave us a key that will help us on our quest. And then darted off into the night, never to be seen again. Or will we? Ah, gold.
Now, I've been reading a book lately for some research and stuff, and they have an interview with an executive for Sega around this era, and she says like, "Oh, Sega does not publish bloody games. We keep our stuff gore-free."
Well, Sega, I guess,
Sega,
right?
Yeah.
BackgameHallOfFame.com/night-trap. If you want to hear about how Nintendo almost sabotaged themselves by trying to sabotage Sega by making Joseph Lieberman aware of video games and violence in video games in a very foolhardy attempt to take Sega down. It's a whole conspiracy. Did you know? Does anyone have an orc voice?
I forbid you to come any closer.
You know what? Perfect. It's actually perfect
That's a little bit
tonight.
pleased with yourself, ain't you? And rightly so. Rightly so.
Foolish old man.
Foolish old man.
Foolish old man.
I'm so bad at the starts of these.
Hey,
I always forget, is it right first? I'm a goblin over here.
It's Jack too.
Does it actually matter which way you dodge, or is it just
Yes.
dodge?
Yes, it does matter. Yeah, you actually have to. So the Genesis version, I think, too, is also like this is like it goes the left right thing. Like other versions, it's random and it's a lot harder. And because the combat's not great, you know, I don't mind it so much.
Jesus.
I know.
He's dead.
And we're like
Is he?
80 too.
Are we sure?
Double tap him, be sure. Split him into fourths, not halves. That's. I'll take that note. I'll take that door key. You know, I'll take those 30 gold pieces that was absolutely worth dying over.
I forbid you from getting my life savings.
Do you know how, with inflation, 30 gold pieces back then, that's gotta be like 50 now. Oh, whatever. I gotta show off some of these deaths, right? That's my excuse for forgetting that the layout here is slightly different than on the Apple IIGS version. It's alright, so it's rounding that corner. I bet I can circumvent that. At least temporarily.
You cannot.
At least enough to do this.
There you go. Yep.
Oh, you
How
know,
do these controls feel? Like, are they working like an isometric thing with the D-pad, or is it just like 1-to-1?
I never got
well, let me tell you, Charky. It is up for up, down for down, left for left, right for right. But the combat, it's so finicky to me.
So the trick to the combat is you're locked in place, right? And when if you hold down left, your wizard will swing left, and then like you don't have to keep holding it down. You just hold, but you have to like hold it for a bit. And the same with right. And then
wait,
oh,
what?
wait, sorry, yeah.
No, I was having fun.
What happened?
I planted some spores. I saw some dirt on the ground. I just thought it'd be a nice place to plant the spores.
Yeah.
It turned out it was not. So
No. So now, if you do what I described and hold down the C key, you dodge button. You dodge instead of slashing, right? You can also hit B to stab, but don't. Anyway, so
sure is dark
this
here.
part.
Luckily, I conserved my fireballs. Nope. I don't love the access in the inventory. Well, this is easy enough. Just doing this. I say
So
as I
if
miss.
you do it to the up and left, yeah, there you go. Yeah, oh, that'll work. Oh, nice.
2 for the price of 1. I should mention how this controls, how the inventory controls. This is me holding left. This is me letting go of left. This is me holding down.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Letting go of down. You see, this game was designed for a system with a joystick, so...
It's because you're so focused on that gold. You are a very greedy old man.
I'm coveting
And the
gold,
bottle. I just want to drink and buy things. That's all our wizard is. If in the age of online shopping, he would have never have tried to find Hidden in here.
Beware of shades. They are dangerous, invisible creatures that, like darkness, under firelight they cast a shadow by which you can detect and avoid them. Good
So
to
I
know.
did see one making a beeline towards you when you paused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the important thing is that I can see them.
It's pretty mean.
Also, innocuous amulet.
Amulet.
I think it's one of many items. Oh, let me take a close look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says it has some runes on it. Yeah, hold it up to the light. Yeah, read them.
Note 2, game over, no continues. You know, on this version.
We ended the world. Or something. So what I'm hoping to show here is just how rapidly and how frequently death comes for you.
That's a mean trick, isn't it?
Good work.
Dino
Gem awarded.
Isn't there on the inventory? Isn't there like a map of this room or something? If I remember
Too much.
like that. Yeah. So if you see the map, if you look at it again in the inventory, it shows you where those 5 pits are. See, like the black dots there.
Now, if only there was a map for every room that has traps in it in this game.
No, it's just these 2 for some reason. Looks like water. Drink it.
Not yet. I know we need that
don't
for.
do that. That's Walking Dead syndrome. Yeah, I think that soft blocks the game.
I could really use a nice pile of hay to lay in. Assassin's Creed, cribbing much? Wait, no, you jump into piles of hay. Anyway, the straw is a small but welcome comfort in your first day's travel. You drift into an uneasy slumber, wondering about Mordemir. Where is he now? Can you rescue him? You dream of dangers that lie ahead. You hope he's thinking of you, too. I added that. Creative liberty, again. You gotta create your own story sometimes when it comes to this stuff.
That's fair.
So, look at this. Beam of light of some sort. With the color depth reduction here on the Genesis is maybe a little less apparent than it is on the 2GS at all, but if I recall correctly...
If you read the manual.
Or Nintendo Power, which also solves.
How about I choose not to read the runes?
I think that's wise.
Hey, what do you know? And let's go downstairs.
The fast way.
It's so pointless. They know what you know. They know what you want to do. They know, but they're like, huh?
Well, it's
That's
about the
not
moral of the game, right? Which is that you have to consider every action carefully. Or whatever, that all actions have consequences. That was the design ethos, apparently.
I feel like if this came out later on, when they had FMV technology, they could have just had Will Harvey appear on screen after each of those, wink and go, gotcha.
These slimes are such BS too. Like sometimes they just make the beeline for you because they're a little random, and it's really hard to. Oh, the Elven Sword of Agility.
Maybe this will help. This might help.
I don't even know if that helps combat or anything, truthfully.
Well, apparently I'm permanently endowed with elven agility and quickness in combat, so why would Will Harvey, my friend of so many years, lie to me? Ooh, there's something...
Due to the fact that you are not an elf, it tears you apart from the inside. Oh, game over.
Something wet and green's here. Are you going to search further?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want as many items as I can carry. Oh, flubber.
Well, now the skeletons are in love.
They died together. That's environmental storytelling. Isn't it so sweet? How about I choose not to search further? We'll let sleeping slimes lie.
There you go.
Now, should we head this way or the other way? It's hard to say. I think I'll head the other way, because that's, from what I
It says
recall,
the slime is what they think.
I did watch a VLP of this at some point, and I believe that chooses to go this way first. Does anyone have the Morshu voice from or Squatalaw guy or anything? This would be a great time.
I'm not
going
going
to
do an accent, but
all right. Greetings, friend. Come, I've got something you need. These parts are plagued with slime, I noticed. You can't venture safely without my slime oil for boots. A bargain at only 80 gold pieces. We don't got that kind of money. Fuck off.
By the way, you're not done, Rick, right? I mean, never mind. Okay, never mind.
All right, 60 gold pieces for my oil. Rub it on your boots and slime won't touch you. 60, friend. No.
listen, to
lower.
tell you the truth, my business is shit. I'm 2 floors deep in a death dungeon. No one comes to buy things from me here.
I know. Well, it's such an odd thing, like a puzzle to solve. Like, don't forget to haggle with the merchant, you know? Oh, you got friends.
I think this is where I would use this.
Mm-hmm.
Does this have a permanent effect? Does this time out? I can't remember.
I think this one's pretty much permanent.
Read
And
the
then you can
spell
turn them
again.
against your enemies by using it again.
Well, I'll take it.
Here to continue edition.
My friends, methane gas.
You know, just a random rock. Fuck it. Why not, right?
Fine,
How's
yeah.
this going to kill you?
You pick it up, and then a bigger boulder, the mama rock, comes out and crushes you to death.
The will-o-wisps get jealous, and then the charm spell stops working.
Well, I can see we're no longer wanted. I don't remember which way to go here.
I think you do go that way. I'm trying to remember, because I think there's a slime here, and you could get the rock with that.
Oh, it'll polish the rock for me. That's
Oh,
right.
Yeah, and then I think also the Goblin King is through the door to the north here, if I recall. Like, yeah, guarded by these guys. So
He's
you
got
can
his
either fight
posse
both
here.
of them, or you have to use the charm spell. He's gonna fight you though, regardless. So
Yeah,
like,
I was
if
a little
you-
late.
yeah, so it's up to you to do if you want to see like combat or
Oh,
right.
Jeez Louise.
Right, it's always alternating. Left, now go right. Hold it.
Yeah.
there
It's
you
just
go.
that it's always the opening volley, because I never remember if it's
Yeah.
start right or start left. So
Yeah. I would just say just pick one and take one hit, you know. But
that's probably a good idea.
yeah.
You know, actually, this was part of my grand strategy to make him tire himself out. I mean, he had so much fun. He was getting so exhausted beating the shit out of me at the start that still built his stamina meter up. Ooh.
That's the thing. You can use the will-o-wisps to get rid of both of these goblins, but then you also miss out on the animations. But you don't really, because they repeat after a while. There's like only so many. I mean, there's a lot, but there's still
Small price to pay.
Dust of compliance? Compliessence?
complacent. Complacent, I think, is what that's supposed to say. I guess.
I say that's
but
not a real word. I say Will Harvey was
compliance is
spinning a
better,
yard.
honestly.
I'm
yeah,
having a
that-
hard time reading that font.
So if you want to skip the combat here, you can just barely make it to the dirt and back. Then the
Ah,
music, you change the music. I don't know why. That's like a little bug in the game, I think.
Ooh.
So you have to go like up a tiny bit and then like sit.
I like that the goblin you domed is still standing there.
They're gonna like come towards you, but if you hit like the bottom, like hit upper left, hit up now and then now do it.
Yep, I think we're good.
A little more. You can still make it. Oh no, okay.
Ooh.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I just need to.
Complacent is a word that means compliant, apparently.
Well, that's a fair price to pay. That's
But
I blew
you
the
fell in
stealth
the dirt,
section.
so you fell in the dirt, so a little you will grow up one day from that spot.
and enact my revenge.
And kill the goblin somehow.
Okay. Please be close enough.
Yeah, you got it. Now you still have to fight. But
Yeah, just the one though.
yeah. You can do it like just barely fast enough to avoid all the combat, but it's
They
rough.
just let you toss the bag from the door frame and be like, I got a present for you.
Catch.
Well, yeah. Also, these goblins, you see, they're full health and they're pretty fast, even at like the low fatigue thing. So
It's like they expected you to be
right.
able to plant the spores to figure that out, but also made it in this conversion very difficult. Oh man.
So here's the trick. You're holding right until he swipes right, and then you hold left. You know what I mean? And then like
Yeah, it's
I
just
feel like I'm
that
Doc
the
from
timing
Punch-Out!,
stinks for me.
It's like one of those things you get a feel for. It's not too rhythmy. It's just like hold it down. Like you're dodging perfectly, and it's just you're kind of doing the same thing if I remember from
Without holding
when you
down the C
splash.
button.
Exactly.
I'll get this down before the end of this.
There you go.
Oh my! Then it drops. It always drops when I go.
I think you're doing it too fast, maybe, or I don't know. I mean, I haven't played it in a while too, so I could be getting this wrong. Oh, there you go. There's his guts. Nice.
All right, get the fuck out of here.
All right, let's just hang out.
So I haven't watched the old LP in a while. Did you like use save states and rewinds then, or did you actually try to do it like in one go?
I did save states. I did save states to show off the deaths and stuff. I have on stream, not in the Let's Play, I've done a deathless run of the Immortal, which I got lucky because somebody in chat, I had forgotten an item, and somebody was like, wait, get that before you leave. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I think it was Dectalon, now I think about it. So, but it's a rough game, even if you know what you're doing, because even like stuff like this with the spores and, all that is...
The king is not dead yet, but the poison is taking effect. When he sees you, he attempts to speak.
Give me water, the fountain. I give you information, peace.
Yeah, sure, I got some water to spare.
I'll tell you how to next level. Past slime, 3 jewels. Slime, rock becomes connection on call bad. Sorry, floor, right, left, center of the...
Then silence. His hand opens, releasing a key.
Sorry, I was going through a tunnel.
No.
Let me try that again.
Strangely, if you kill the 2 goblins, then like you can't get the key from him or anything. He just doesn't talk to you, So then you have to spore kill him.
I was asking if there's still a thing on the floor, but no, that was his crown.
Yeah.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
I think that door don't go through it because I think it leads back to the slime room. I mean, if you want, you can, but there's another.
Let me see.
Easy. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, it's this again. Yeah.
I see how it comes around full circle
that's right.
here.
Yeah. My bad.
No, that's perfect because that means that we can cross that door off the list.
Yep.
And head this way, which really does mean that we didn't have to go the roundabout way. That we could have probably just gone through the metal door at first. That might have been.
I wonder if it was locked from one side or not.
I think you have one more fight on this level, maybe, but I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, this guy, the troll.
Yeah, maybe.
No more flame, huh? No more fireballs.
Yeah,
I used all those up.
Time for perfect fight, I guess. Rules of nature. There you go.
Okay, you know what? Dodge left first.
There you go.
There you go.
He doesn't have much health. He's faster, though, so just careful.
He's a glass cannon, as they call them, I believe.
Yeah. See, what you're doing now is perfect. Like how you're going left, right, and there's no like neutral or middle. That's exactly what you want to do. You got this. I believe in you.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. Now watch me blow it.
There you go. Oh, yep. Yes.
I am capable of learning.
Now play his ribs like a xylophone.
Ooh, that is, I do like that he stands.
Did you know the skeletons can stand without muscle or anything? It's a thing. There you go.
It's a magic world.
He's in shock.
We're just living in it. Anything in this corner? I always just assume there's hidden items in any sort of isometric game where there's corners.
I would assume there's a trap.
I feel like they do that once somewhere. Oh, you can refill your health by sleeping also. Like a little bit, not all the way, of course.
Yeah, 4 bars, I believe, which I will avail myself of because I could use it.
A nice relaxing sound of someone bashing a hammer against something to sleep to.
When you clear your mind of the day's troubles, you start to think about the goblins. They're so cute. They appear rational. Perhaps you can reach some agreement with them.
Maybe not now, but...
Well, I did kill
killed
your
king.
king,
So I'm willing to talk.
I did try to say... Oh, you probably want to talk to the guy before you deal with the slime.
Oh, yeah, just for completion's sake, just for thoroughness' sake, huh?
Just because,
Don't bother me. I'm cutting a gem. Yes, you need it. No, you can't have it.
I
wouldn't give it to anyone.
Least of all
Least like
you.
you.
Go away. I actually knew that from memory.
I used to know the entire script to Resident Evil. In House of the Dead 2, just any game that had bad voice acting back in the day. I was just like, well, I've got to commit this to memory. I got to hyperfixate on this. I think it's this, the dust of compliance.
Compliance. Yeah, the dust you want. Do that here? Yes.
You know,
You also, yeah.
could I have used it on the Goblin King? I mean, I know the answer is no, but wouldn't that be an idea?
Let me help you. Please take this gem. No, really, I insist. Thank you for the dust. Take it and go with my blessings. Good luck.
You know, then he
Goodbye.
has that magic thing that just whoops him away. Or, so you,
Go
you know,
away. I'm gone. I'm not here anymore.
Let me
the
in.
inventory is much worse. How you have to hold like the direction to pick an item, but
Yes.
even the yes and no on those menus, you don't just select them. You have to like hold right to like select no and then hit the
Yeah.
button.
I'm
Like,
not thrilled. Not
It's
thrilled
funny,
every
like I
time.
never picked up on that, like how annoying that is before this stream actually. Now this is also very annoying.
I think I remember.
No, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. You were correct.
Yeah, the leather is drying out quickly, so that means we have limited time.
Yep.
But
For no reason. There's like no need that they needed to make that timed. Oops.
did I put the stone in the wrong place?
Nah, you're fine. You can just wait, actually. Like wait and oh yeah, you got it. Now get it and go.
Thank you. And in my head, I was like, do I trade the gem to the dwarve? And I'm like, no, different puzzle, different use.
Right.
I like that you
Sometimes-
drop a rock and then you immediately go, you find a rock when you walk over.
Who
it.
left this here?
Do you want me to tell you which ones to put
Yes,
it in?
please.
Okay. So on the left circle, you want to hit the rightmost tiny circle. There, yep.
Yep, this
drop one there.
here.
Yep.
Now, what's the clue in the environment that would have told
It's,
us what to do?
The king says right, left, center of the. So
Ah.
you hit then that one exactly, and then center in the third one. You got it.
Curse my lack of short-term memory for. There we go. Let's go. Oh no!
Oh.
Just kidding. All right, jot that down.
Just write down that hexadecimal string, and we're all set.
Let me put my post-it note up on the screen.
And you got full health.
Not close enough. I'm missing one bar. A grand
One
total of
bar.
1 bar. Hey, I remember this from the concept art. I remember this from the concept art we had in the slideshow. I remember this room.
They don't let you fall down that giant chasm, interestingly, but
That's such a missed opportunity. They
I
blew
know,
it.
But I know. Well, they figured the 2 ladders of death were enough, I guess. But
Honestly, that feels out of character for this game to not let you get killed.
missed opportunity. Yeah, I think there's an item down on the bottom there.
Dude's rock.
Ooh, some water. Some tasty water. I'll take it. And I'll leave these 2 gentlemen to go about their business.
I think there's a guy around the corner here.
I believe you're correct.
Something about him. Like, does he also give you the don't approach thing? Yeah, of course. You don't have to fight him, actually.
Yeah, you know, let's sleep in goblins, trolls, orcs.
Those are goblins, the green ones. This
You
game-
know what?
there are
You're
no-
right. I should be peaceful with you. By the way, I killed your king. Bye.
Yeah. You can let them fight too until one.
When one dies. And
So these 2 little burner things also instant kill you, but they're not too much of a threat.
at least they're fairly obvious.
Yeah. Oh, and if you like, in that treasure chest, if I recall, there's a weak fireball spell, which, you know, can help with combat. Because you can also hit people with the weak fireballs, and then they'll have less health if you go into the isometric combat view for the fatality, too.
You know what?
You know, if
Yeah, that works, too.
That's my
There you go.
solution. That'll save us a lot of time. And no.
Little pieces. Scroll fireball spells. 2 shots? That's interesting. I thought it was...
you know, if you listen closely, there's a goblin slow beef trying to tell that other one how to fight.
You hold down the C button. No.
I believe in you.
I helped. You're welcome. Rude much. Ooh.
Oh, that's right. So if you do that the other way, you kill the goblin, you can't open that door because it's like a complicated series of locks that you don't understand. And
You know what? Do I want to
don't
go that way, or do I want to
you
go?
don't there's an optional fun kind of thing if you go back.
I like optional fun.
Yeah, so if you let those 2 goblins fight, don't expect like too much. This isn't going to be like a roller coaster. Like, oh my gosh, thanks for showing this. This is like a cute little thing.
We like to be somewhat thorough here.
Yeah. No, so So if you wait for one of them to kill each other, you know, 'cause we're gonna learn a little environmental storytelling here. Here we go. Now, if you fight him, don't interfere.
I didn't.
You know, there was
You know what? Hold on.
the note
left first.
The note on that ritual dagger you picked up said it was like, "Oh, this is to declare a fight to the death with a troll." It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you've been doing a good enough job of that with your normal sword.
Well, you'll see. You'll be ashamed of your words and deeds in a minute when you see how we brilliantly utilize it.
There we go. Yeah, they should really have added some kind of music or something.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You think it's like a programming thing? Like they couldn't have sprites this big and music somehow?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about Genesis programming. I do know you probably can't have like a wizard with buns of steel with these like hot goblins, you know, in the loincloth or whatever.
Well, whatever
Protean
preserves
ring.
the integrity of the abs, I think, is the most important thing.
There you go. Now look, the body's different. What? And the Protean ring, I think you can take it on and off without it like forever.
Yes,
but
I
if you
believe you're
wear
right.
it, you become a goblin or a fake goblin. Now he can't go down I think he falls down the thing no matter what you do. Like there's just no animation for him to climb down the ladder, so that's just death
Rip.
no matter what.
Well, don't you know, it's a classic, you know, everyone knows that goblins
Now-
can't climb ladders.
Of course, but
Dogs can't look
not
up.
with the loincloth, because you know. So if you take off now, if you go downstairs again with that goblin who was guarding the treasure chest and you use the Protean ring, he won't actually like bother you now when you can go to raid his stuff.
But if you do walk
you
into him, he'll flag you as a fake. He'll know by your voice.
Yeah,
I suppose.
yeah, basically.
You're just like, hey, what's up, dude? And they're like, imposter.
There's a gas bomb to paralyze trolls.
I'll take it. Oh,
And
what's this?
another one.
A gas bomb that goblins use to paralyze. Well, I gotta have one of those. Oh, what's this? A gas bomb?
Oh, good.
Why couldn't they just have a count of 3 like they do with the scrolls here?
You know, I mean, even Will Harvey had limits. Okay.
There's only so much you can do with a
I
computer,
mean-
okay? It's...
There might be a gas leak that's making you like forget what you just did.
Listen, I can make music or I can make counters for scrolls, but that is it. Okay.
And if you can
Now,
find
please
me,
invest in my company.
if you can find a program that can do better, then I'll sell that company to them, put them in charge, declare them the immortal. Let's go this way. Why don't we?
You know, you haven't walked on a space that just instantly killed you in a while.
What the?
Oh my God!
Now-
well, let's disguise
Yeah, you
ourselves.
better
Let's make sure that
pretend
we
to be.
don't.
I know every god. Wait, there's a ladder? But
You did do it in front of him.
Well, I can tell you it would be the same either way. But
Yeah. he knows all the goblins. That's why he's the king.
you know, the king's duties weigh heavily, but heavy is the head that wears the crown.
You're not Gobbert. Remember me, the king? You poisoned me and then you healed me. It was really odd, and you stole my key.
Well, anyway, you know,
Over this
we're
ladder.
cool.
Across the spikes is troll territory.
Very dangerous, very expensive. Got anything I can loot, King?
Nah.
Anything in this corner here? Can I?
In the NES version, there was actually an Easter egg that they took that's not in here, and I don't remember if it's here, but it's in like one of those isometric corners around here. And I think it was a pot of coffee, if I remember.
That's in the
correctly.
carpet room.
Ah,
As a
the
matter
carpet
of
room,
fact, which, not in this version of the game though. You're right about that. That they took
Right.
it out of this version of the game just completely. They omitted the Easter egg. But yeah, you can meet the developers of the game, the original developers of the Apple IIGS game. You can meet Sandcastle, Will Harvey et al.
Oh.
I'm gonna meet him eventually in heaven, the kingdom of heaven, when he. So this room is full of traps. You would think that you just gotta dodge the spikes when they're coming out. Not the case. This is just them telling you, like, no, don't go anywhere around here. It won't end well.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you're supposed to like write down like everywhere a spike could appear and then go, you know. So boom.
That
But-
seemed easy enough.
Yeah. I bet.
You know, it sounds like there's well. I'm getting out of there. That's what I decided, is that the too much trouble for me. It is so sticky with the ladders and accidentally. So I believe there are to be 2 trolls in this room. I just want to confirm visually. They're not going to let me.
I'll tell you you're correct, yes. There's 2 doors, 1 troll each. And you could verify by doing combat with both of them, of course.
Or I could do something a little cheeky. The knife lands near the troll. See, Sharky, are you ashamed of your words and deeds now?
You could say you goblined them.
Where's the laugh track button when you need it?
So you throw a knife. They're both like, "Oh, sick knife! I want it."
And they battle to the death over it.
Just a little bit pleased with yourself, ain't ya? And rightly so, rightly so.
Can I use this bomb?
Yes, you can. Oh, wait, what?
I put it
you
down
dropped
instead of. Let's try that again.
Hopefully,
I mean, dropping.
hopefully, like the knife, they'll see it and pick it up and use it on the other one.
I want to warn you in advance, too. The troll bomb lasts, like, very little time. Oh, you used it too far away.
It's proximity based.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Let me just hold on. Wait. There we go. Now it's a fair fight by making it completely unfair. Does the gas bomb?
Elven sword, it's a little short here. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask. Do you know if the gas bomb, like, do you get like free hits in, or is it literally just like
so
run past them?
It freezes the sprite and you just run past them. Yeah.
That seems not very useful for having 3 of them.
You might have to dodge with this guy to get some of your fatigue meter down. But looks like you're doing it. Yeah. See. Yeah.
There you go.
And that's why they call me the Immortal.
I do like the little smoke wisp that comes out of his mouth. You know.
Well, it's
I like
realistic.
it a lot. Beautiful. Mwah.
You know what? I saw what happened to him, but I think I could do better.
I got this, wizard. I don't know why you wait till the end to do your little spells and stuff. You know, like I gotta thoroughly shame them before execution.
Yeah, I would open up with a head explosion. That would just be.
Right?
I'd use it on everyone, actually.
Because then if I was the second troll, I'd be like, fuck this, I'm gone, you know, but goblins win.
You know, I really should have worn the Protean ring and done this victory in the name of goblins. They should have let you do that level
Would
of,
you have-
like...
Would you have gotten into this fight as a goblin if you had done that?
The worst thing is our wizard doesn't even realize you could just wear the Duncan's ring and become Duncan, too. Whatever.
He just doesn't dare to try.
Potion, magic muscle? Actually, I forgot what that does.
I think it's supposed to increase your strength in combat. I don't know if it's a permanent buff like the Elven Sword is supposedly supposed to be. But, you know.
I don't know that the Elven Sword really does anything, but it works. You're much stronger. Okay.
I feel stronger now.
Oh,
Laura Croft. Oh, what? No. I guess I had a fireball queued up that entire time. Or maybe I just selected it there. Who's to say? I know we actually have... If I want to do a little bit of experimentation here...
Oh, did you see that?
Whoa.
Watch, look at the...
Huh? Benefit of rewind. I thought she only appeared at one point later.
I thought so too, now that you mention it. I did not realize. So...
Alright, I'm declaring this victory in the name of goblins.
Also, as a little, be careful, you're gonna take a hit. Okay.
Huh?
Wait, why does he not care?
No, hey, I want to fight. We're at war, right?
Oh, I know why. Because they didn't animate, like, you being a goblin when you fight him.
Wait, so you could just use this to just bypass all the fights then?
I guess so. I never even realized that.
Well, shit, I'm a goblin now.
And the goblins use doors, too.
Goblins can do anything they set their minds to.
Be careful. Okay. The hitboxes on those are so wonky. Let's see. No. Okay.
No.
Nah, it's just the one.
That one troll was just a pacifist.
He's just like, I already killed another troll already. I'm giving up my violent ways.
I've disgraced myself. I've disgraced all of trollkind.
I'm ashamed of my words indeed.
He's not gonna fight you, but he's gonna give you the stink eye when you walk past. He's gonna remember that.
I'm so tired. Must keep slashing.
That's what
If only I could have figured out this human's pattern.
I like how you both just like hack a cough whenever you take a hit.
I mean, you know, my guy's getting up there in years.
Oh.
You know, I'm looking. He's got the gray in his beard, and a song in his heart. Ow! Oh my god! How do I keep blowing that? He has max stamina, which is to say no stamina, but well, you know, good enough.
I'll just go to sleep by
think-
this chanting skeleton. It's fine.
Do you think that if Devin Townsend grew a really big beard, would the hair in the back of his head also be beard technically at that point?
Well, if he combs it over like Pickles from Death Clock, then yes.
There's something magical in these dungeons.
No.
I reckon.
Oh, wake up! Immediately turn
As I
back
wake
into a
up
goblin.
as a goblin and look at the standing skeleton. I think there's something
Here's a
magical
weird-
on here.
It's a weird thing.
I was so close. I so could have timed that perfectly.
Okay.
Hey.
That
Okay.
must feel nice.
Hey.
That's
All right.
new to me. Okay. So I think when you
It's
do
like
it
a-
on red, you'll die.
Yeah,
There it
red.
is.
Yeah.
Red, I'll die for sure, but
Purple is just They don't
Like
really
a cat
explain
sitting on a heater to try and get warm during winter.
It's like a bidet, but for magic fire. There you are.
why?
Oh.
Is-
Supposed to do something?
It's supposed to
you're
teleport
supposed to
you.
use them. No, you're supposed to use the gem.
Oh,
when it,
doy. Yeah.
I feel like this is the one game I'm actually know really well. Like every other video game, I'm like, I don't remember, but this
But
one,
this
I'm like,
one-
you got to use that gem.
The back of your hand, and thank God for that.
It's it's only like 40 minutes long.
Oh,
There.
Jesus.
You're actually doing the combat here, by the way. But
Yep.
Thankfully, what's his face? So I don't remember saves you.
Just like in the 2GS version, that's a throwback. They're a little homage to the original version of the game, where all the combat plays out like that. We
We're
are even now,
even now.
wizard. Oh, you please.
A musty red carpet. Dangerous to tread even one step in the next 2 rooms. And 3 ladders down.
I like how they made a bespoke animation for the dwarf and him getting the fuck out, but this guy just disappears without a trace, like fucking Batman talking to Commissioner Gordon.
Twice.
The second time he's pulled this fucking trick on us too.
Make sure you haggle with the merchant.
You want to get a good deal?
Here's your carpet. Watch out for fire.
There's
Why
no
do they set up
point.
these 2 fire patterns? You know what I mean? Like they don't do anything here, but no.
Environmental storytelling. There's a very good reason written in the lore Bible for this game.
You can't step 1 foot in these rooms.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. That
Yeah,
was
you
more
got
than a
couple
foot.
feet.
Yeah, there was like, All right. It is now time. Time to ride the carpet.
I remember when we were talking about how bad the inventory controls were.
Well,
Well.
inventory controls the squeak wheel coming up right now.
How's this going to work for? Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a heat-seeking carpet.
Oh my god. Okay, let's
It's one like right. Yeah. So it's
tank
very
controls.
very accelerative, and you bounce off the walls, which
So-
like make no sense for a carpet. But sorry, yeah.
So you said Will Harvey worked on a port of Marble Madness.
Yes. Yes. He
It
did.
all
Good
makes sense.
point.
No.
You kind of want to like slow down a little sometimes. It's like, oh yeah, or you can
Or I can get stuck on the corner.
hit left right here. Just never mind.
Is this carpet on a timer? Because I wouldn't put
Yes.
that.
Nah. No, this one isn't, right? There's something later like the carpet that is on a timer. This one you should have time. You can do this slow if you want. Like just tap it.
could, I should, and I think I
But-
will.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, just hit up left here and maybe adjust a little up to that burner in front of you. Yep. Oh boy. Yeah,
At least we got some jaunty music for it now. The music trigger finally happened when it was supposed to.
Yeah,
so-
this is pretty brutal, honestly. So
So to let folk into what's happening, left and right. But sometimes left doesn't turn you left. Sometimes instead of turning you, it just makes you accelerate.
So what's kind of happening is it's pointing you in the direction I think you need to go to the other side of that room, if I remember.
I think you might be right.
you're like, it's turning you. So you see like you're rotating, like you go through all the animations. I think it's like, that's the problem is if you're like going left and you tap down, you'll start to go down left. But if you hold down, you'll eventually rotate to down. So there's like a little lag in the turning, but then you're accelerative when you try to like move faster. So this, I think you can hit with the carpet. You don't need to get off, but okay. Yeah, that works too. So fine women's, yeah.
Can I ride this like a carpet?
Anna, so your home will never find you. Your loving father, Dunrick.
I'll take that. I could probably hawk this. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Get back on that carpet fast before the worms kill you. They never, I don't think, explain the worms. Oh yeah, and anything hidden by the isometric.
Of course. Couldn't make it too easy.
Right. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it ran out.
Did it?
It ran out. Oh, no, I mean, I guess it didn't run out. I guess it just unequipped itself. But we got it here, so
weird.
Ultimately.
Huh, okay. This is what I think you can just go straight upright and just do it. Oh.
I accidentally took a step before I stepped on the carpet.
Yeah, just hold upright as soon as you're on the carpet, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, no, it's... Hold on.
Did it really actually run out?
It ran out.
No, really?
I thought so. I thought that was going to happen.
Oh, that's so weird. I didn't think it did. Wait, go back out and in again, maybe. Oh, we can.
Okay. All right, we went out. Now let's get back in.
All right, well, luckily, with the power of rewind at our disposal,
How? That seems real strict, all things considered. You didn't putter about that much.
I really didn't think it was. Maybe I'm mistaken. Oh, God, you want me to like? You're getting me to play the Immortal now at some point. I have to verify all these Immortal theories.
Fuck.
Hold on, let me catch up right now on my own. And...
Oh, use the certificate. It's only like 80 characters in hex. But all right, there you go.
Oh, that was so close.
I
was on a real...
Got it. Yeah.
No, come on, wizard. Come on, wizard. You got this.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go. Now let's see if I don't pinball around here.
There you go. Oh, almost. Just up a little more. Yep. So it's not something in chat mentioned. It is not tank controls. It feels like tank controls, but it actually is. It just takes you so long to turn. You're also taking damage when those things are hitting you.
Yeah, I'll take the damage at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Can't. I wanted to like orient myself first at the very least. And that's what I'll do.
And then just go straight upright. I think you're okay. Oh wait, no. I guess maybe you have to go up a tiny bit. There's like if you just do, it's a straight shot through, if I remember. And if you're eagle-eyed, there she is again.
Yep.
Yeah,
and also, this is where they hide the coffee mug. Is in the bottom right corner.
Yep.
Over there. Now I overshot the door a little bit, which yes, of course, means that you're instantly dead. But luckily, I can just do that.
Yeah, there you go. And you're safe. Take a nap. You've done it.
Yeah, rest and reflect on my day.
Bed.
You quickly fall into a deep healing sleep.
Really? Like there's no adrenaline rush from that? You're just right to bed.
The carpet makes a fine blanket. Vivid images of a beautiful enchanted city pass by. All the city people are young and glowing. And fountains fill the city, and the splash and sparkle of water is everywhere. Everything's soaking wet. Suddenly, the images go black. A face appears. Mortimer! He is different from how you remember him. His gentle features are now withered. His kind eyes, now cold and sunken, seem to look through you with a dark, penetrating stare. You wake rejuvenated, but disturbed. Midex Liane in chat says, wet dreams.
That was the goblins before. All right, so oh, here we go. You have a gas bomb? That doesn't matter. No, I don't think you do. I feel like they like reset your items at each
They
floor,
do.
'cause-
Yeah, which is extra mean. You know, thank God I got that 4 extra health, though, so I can weather the inevitable hits as I try to engage in combat here. I don't know, there's got to be a better way to do this, right? There had to have been a better way to have done the combat in this game. I get it on the Apple IIGS. With the benefit of this, though, with the Genesis and the close-ups.
I think the NES version has the close-ups too. It's just, again, like, it's worse because you actually have to, like, try to figure out where to dodge, and it's, like, really hard. It ends up just being kind of like a random guessing kind of thing. So, as silly and as this is to do this whole alternating left-right thing, like, I kind of prefer it. Just the other versions. But
I guess that's fair.
It's at least less painful.
yeah,
You know,
Once
it
you
does
get the hang
remind
of it,
me.
oh, sorry, yeah.
No, but please go ahead.
I was just saying, like, once you get the hang of it, it's like boring at least, but it's like predictable as opposed to just like the roulette machine of the other ones. What the? That's a little cartoony, but yeah.
This game cartoony with the standing skeleton there.
Yeah.
So I think that reminds me that the first time I ever heard of this game would have probably been in the 90s. Because there was this Game Players magazine, I think was the name of it. It was an issue that had Bart versus the Space Mutants on it. And they covered the Immortal within the NES version. 'Cause I think it was like a Nintendo published, like another publication that had parallel to Nintendo Power, which was just like strategy guides and stuff. And I swear that must have been where I first heard of this game here in its NES capacity, not knowing any of the history behind it or what have you. Fuck's sake. How dare I? Yeah, of course. 1 pixel off.
Yep, there she is.
Is she stuck in the wall?
Yeah, my stepbrother is behind you. No. You know, this game has beautiful graphics, but not really Anna. They just it feels like really phoned in, her little portrait there, but yeah.
The girl pleads, I was kidnapped and dragged down here. All the man would say is Mortimer's orders. I escaped using a ring my father gave me, but now I've lost it. Did you find it? You know, as a matter of fact, I can't lie to the lady. I did.
You basically gain nothing by lying to her. Like, you can keep the ring, but not until the next level. You can't keep it next level anyway, so... Wait. What does the little dwarf say? Clockwise, 3 rings around the triangle.
Could that be a clue to his exit puzzle? I must go. Goodbye. Deuces.
Whoop.
Hey, teach me how to do that. I want to go.
Get me the fuck out of here. Well, I did my good deed for the day there.
I don't like being Will Harvey's the Immortal.
All right, clockwise 3 times. Fucking ladders.
I know this. I know that pain all too well. There you go.
The pain of
At
having
least,
to do
like, you
this
hit a button. There you go.
on a D-pad.
It's weird, right? That they made you do this, but there's that Will Harvey programming. Like, I know how to test for a circle using a D-pad.
That's actually what set it apart in the market. It was his little, developer trademark there.
Putting all of these certifications on my resume, by the way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh.
My chief wants to talk to you. Follow me.
He walks out the door. Oh, I guess we can't see that. I guess I couldn't animate that. I guess that was a bridge
stared at him. I hate to fight you goblins, but I love to watch you leave.
Hey, we found a large egg. Take it, make an omelet? Sure,
Yeah.
why not?
You can eat it for health if you want.
That seems like a really good idea that won't backfire or lock us out of making progress.
Yeah,
No,
here.
there. No, here.
There? No,
There.
here.
No, here.
There.
There.
There. We need your help.
This is a
we don't know how to
guy with
read.
a red striped shirt.
Long ago, in the Age of Dragons, there's a great spring of these dungeons, a fountain of youth. But that was long ago. Now only a trickle of enchanted water flows, and a Snorlax water monster blocks our access to it altogether.
The notation.
Snorlax
I
also
appreciate
blocks
the
your
parenthetical
access
goblin.
to the deepest level. You see, we both need the monster killed. We have a plan.
You do all the
water
work.
drains to a whirlpool, powerful enough to drown the Snorlax water monster if he gotten it. There is a sluice gate at the other end of the tunnel. We need you to distract the Snorlax so we can open the gate to flush him down the whirlpool. Only an old wizard can do this.
Well, I thought my drowning the Snorlax days were behind me, but I guess they pull me back in. Snorlax backwards is Calron.
This is also a really easy plan, but there's still there's sluice gates here. No, it's over here. Okay, here's where it goes. No, it's over there. Okay.
We forget all these rooms look the same after a while, all the tiles that we use. Can I just say, this is probably my primary criticism with the game that I'm going to lay out here and now, more than any of the controls or puzzles or traps or what have you, is the fact that every goddamn floor looks mostly the same. That it's mostly just these tiles. It's, when I think fantasy worlds, I think like castles and in fields, forests, mountains, dank caves, and it's just like, what if we just did the caves? What if we just did? And I feel like this is probably like, something that lingered from the original online concept, I would dare to say. That maybe it was like an ASCII type dungeon where it's just like, well, just have one tile. So just say like, it's the dungeon. You're going into the dungeon. The dungeon can take many forms, many shapes, but we'll still have the same 5 tiles that we use across all of them because our budget is limited.
Hey, how'd you get down here?
Hey, our old friend. Greetings, old friend. I have a potion you need. 60 gold pieces. Take it.
Don't say no to me, or else, god damn it. All right.
I was playing hard to get.
This time he's like, that's not gonna work on me again.
I've fallen for the old walk away then come back 2 seconds later trick before. Not this time.
I read this book written by a lich called Art of the Deal. Taught me how to do this.
I met a guy named Will Harvey who was good at venture capital.
He passed down the knowledge of generations.
Do you not have the gold to get it, or?
No, I got it.
No, you
got it? Okay. Honestly, seeing no and yes kind of bleeds together in here.
So
you don't have the gold in the second level, and you have to haggle. But
yes.
Here, I think you do, yeah.
So this is incredibly hard to make out. I want the audience at home, if they don't already know, to figure out what we're supposed to do in this room, what this potion does, how it could play into.
It's probably going to shrink you and get you through that mouse hole.
Yes, you are correct. But that
I didn't
hole
cheat or anything. That was my guess.
So hard to miss. It's so hard to see. Look at me. Look at my little guy. Look at my little.
I can take him.
I would walk toward one of them. Yep, there you go.
Rip. Oh, then it spawns you in the room, fully sized.
Yeah.
Thanks to the continue system. But
you're gonna want. Yeah. If
I'm
you're
just
playing this legit, you're gonna want as many lives as you can for this one, though. You can also, I think, stand still and they don't actually step on you. Like, it's only if you walk into them.
Does it just eventually...
that's weird. Hey, come here. Look at this.
Look at this fucking little guy.
That's weird.
There we go. I was wondering when...
Oh, yeah, wait. Something's wrong, yeah. Look at that. Oh, wait, you can't do anything about it yet, right?
No, I need water badly.
Yeah. So, yeah, that little sound is poison, how poison slashes your HP away. Oh, look.
Here's the weak fireballs.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
I'll take the note too. Oh my god, this chest is full. Worm danger in room after flying hazards. The only safe path is left down, right down, left down, right up, left, right. Ugh.
Left down, right up, right. I left.
Sensor only lasts a few seconds. Take it. Who needs it? Okay. Before I get into that fight, drink that water. That turns the poison off.
And let them phase through you if you want to skip.
So was that poison like shrinking sickness or something?
Yeah.
So, yeah, they don't explain that. And, for later, like, it kind of doesn't make sense, like, story-wise that it would do that. But, there's...
I feel like having done the stream snack for like 2 years now, I've definitely drank things to help me out that later I was like, oh, that was poison.
There we go. Look at this goblin skip leg day. Look at that. Come on now. I mean,
Pathetic. Not like those hot goblins.
Right.
They could have both fought me at the same time. They might have won.
No, that's not goblin honor unless you throw a goblin dagger or troll dagger. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
And that changes all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the troll
I
shuffle
would like to see a
now.
remake of this, like a modern day remaster, where like at this point in the fights, you just hear the monster going.
Fuck, man, that wizard was dodging me for days. I'm spry for an old man. I don't think they drop any items, do they? I'll never know because they're too close to the door. So.
Oh yeah, this guy, right? So he's hurt. He hurts you. See.
Do I got anything for that? I guess I got the fireballs.
You do have fireballs.
And I got a note. Notice, flying lizards can be trained just after they hatch. Use bait.
These ones hatched already. Don't do it. Just a waste of bait. You're dying.
I
Oh,
know.
no.
Yeah. I wish that you could see them like tear you apart, like sort of gnaw at you. Know that your body's going to a good place. That it's you've died for a good cause, keeping these flying lizards satiated and healthy. I'm gonna start where I'm not in the middle of taking damage, and see if maybe no.
No.
You can shoot them down.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
I
have
feel like
to.
you have to, if I remember.
That's a shame, though. I mean, what did they ever do, really? They're just trying to live. I mean, we walked into their world.
You have to get them after birth. Yeah, you have to indoctrinate them, into wizard-liking lifestyles.
Oops.
Oh dear.
Well,
Oh, you scared him off. Oh, no.
Oh, you killed one though.
I'll
You don't
take
have the
it.
key?
Huh? Did one of them? Do they?
Oh yeah,
drop
one of
the
them
key?
have it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so lame. That's,
Yeah.
that's
In what?
It's
Did they
like
eat it?
I think it's like around its neck or I forget. I don't know if I headcanoned that though. He's just like, yeah,
He's
stay
dead.
here. Door cake. Yep.
yeah.
Wow,
sure.
it's take.
I did headcanon it. Yeah, about that. I had to fix the immortal in my head. I'll make it make sense. There you go.
And that was just wanton cruelty on my part. That one didn't have to die. I could have just kept going.
All right. Well, speaking of wanton cruelty, no, it is here. Yeah. So there's nothing downstairs, and that was where
I'll be
in
the
the original
judge.
version, if you had the coffee, the developers were here. If you gave them the coffee, they would give you bad body odor, which would like insta-win combat, by you walk up to monsters and they would just collapse. Monsters being trolls at this point.
But in this version of the game, nothing, nada, and zip. And actually,
completely-
you can approach them without the coffee mug, and they'll ask you, "Do you have coffee?" And if you say yes, they insta-kill you. Will Harvey kills you
Gotcha.
in the 2GS version.
Interesting.
So
No. I'll let you.
let me try to. Now, this sensor will help us detect the worms. The problem is it has a battery life, like so many things. And there's not a Radio Shack in sight. But this is, in fact, the worm room. There's one place where you can die to the worm. Oh, let's go this way, thank you very much. It's an entire room full of traps. An entire room full of trap tiles that if you step on, you will die. Now, we can totally trivialize this by just rewinding our way through it. But what if we try to actually use the instructions? What if we actually try to follow? Can we get
remember
those directions? Do you remember them, Slow Beef, after all these years?
I wrote them down except for the last couple, but it's left down, right down.
All right, let's start left, down, right, down,
Then
Not
left
that
down,
down.
right up.
down.
So yeah. You are doing this correctly. When I was younger, I was totally confused by what do they mean by left with the isometrics, but it is in fact cardinal.
Thank God for that. Small miracles. Doesn't
so
help
left-
when this room
left
is...
down, right up. I'm sorry.
No, it's perfect. You're giving me the directions I desperately
right
need.
up.
Now, if I want to, just for funsies, let's also use the sensor.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say.
Found it. Wait, Slow Beef, wasn't this room like your avatar on Something Awful for a while?
Yes. Somebody bought me this. It was the worm slamming the wizard,
Yeah.
but it was like made into a GIF where it kept slamming him, and it was this room. Oh, I missed that. I think that's still my avatar on there. I don't know, but
Boy, howdy, this is a one cursed corner here.
and so you really have to like inch to do it, but the sensor just does not last long enough to get to the room. You have to go up and around,
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
up, right,
up.
down are the last.
then
things.
right, and then straight down. I think you're okay. Made it. You're through. Well, there's a slime for
Hey.
no reason to kill you. Also,
Just to be mean.
that really is just to be mean. It's just so, I hate that that's there because now you also have to solve a puzzle with the slime in the room. Oh, sorry. The egg you're carrying shakes, cracks. Uh-oh.
It's a boy. Okay, let's do bait.
Nope. No, wait, not there. Don't do it there.
Yeah, maybe I should move.
Not even. But you have to solve a puzzle, so you want to put the bait in a specific place. So if you walk on that, see, it's like a pressure plate kind of deal. So you want to put the bait there so it drops there and then holds it open for you.
And no, look at the slime. Oh
No,
well,
he wants wizard. Okay.
I think the slime ate the food out of my little baby dragon's mouth, my little flying lizard's mouth. Well, doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna be an absent father. I'm just gonna.
I've had a long day. So he's been in this dungeon like a week, going by this, but
Yeah, the timetable on
Oh,
this
he
game
has
is
sleep
strange.
apnea. He's getting like 5 minutes at a time.
You imagine a dragon. No, many dragons. You appear to be
imagining
seeing
dragons.
Believe it. Believe it. Or
Some
believe her.
radioactive.
Whatever.
Monsters, all of them.
Dragon civilization.
Anyway, there's a dragon civilization. Did you know that? It's true. In the world of this game,
Beginning of time, it's existed.
dragons have always been there. In their dungeons, in their ways.
Welcome to Dragassic Park. There we go.
I think I got a pitch for Hollywood. You need a new direction to take it in, right? You ran out of
Now-
dinosaurs at some point? Well, have you considered?
I Fire 2.
Don't know. I know this level is not in the NES version, but I don't remember if it's in the. I don't know if I forget if it's in like the DOS or Amiga versions. I feel like it is,
Yes,
but-
it is present in the original. So I know there's a. Yep. Okay. Come in, why don't you? You know, what happens if I.
Yeah.
There, I got in. Perfect. Why is the game
I don't
why did I
know
lose
why-
health? It's.
I don't know why the spider has magic there either, but
You know what happens?
You know, all right.
We'll use the continue. Who cares?
I like that.
Nope. So there is a timing minigame. Again, this is like the zany golf shit with the mouses and the holes and the bloodshot eyes and so forth, except this time around, it's a little simpler.
What if it's a spiritual sequel to Zany Golf?
And they both got Will Harvey involved.
I think walking.
I mean, if
think
you
can
get
walk
to the
around-
very end of this game and it counts your strokes and how under par you are, it's just like, wait, this whole thing was golf the whole time? What was I?
No fireballs. I guess there's really no choice here, is there? Except to
Just
run
walk
away.
right up to him. It'll be fine.
I'll go around. I'll circumnavigate.
Ooh.
Oh, good, you're the babysitter. All right.
Finally.
Take care of my little 200.
They can be quite a handful. All right, I guess we. Oh. Huh. Well. So that didn't go so
Now-
hot either. What's left to do?
There you go. Fake him out, of course. Now imagine combat, but there's only one animation frame for both left and right.
Oh,
I was hoping I could just keep hanging left and just.
No, it's
Oh.
it's still the alternating. I don't really get why they did this, but you know, hey.
Just because the sprite's so big, they didn't want to do the frames of animation with whatever like tiles, comprise this character, coming with like other animation frames. I mean, these are big ass sprites,
Well, you can also insta kill. Like he's good at range, so you have to like really get in there. He's
They don't really
the
have much
zoner,
health.
basically. There you go. You're like
wait.
the wizard's like a rushdown character, is how it goes.
Wouldn't a wizard be a glass
I've
cannon?
been trying to teach Cass like fighting games for like 2 years. It ain't gonna happen.
No, it's too late now. There's no hope for me.
I will. I got master level today, by
Whoops.
the way. Is Ed finally? So I'm very
In Street
happy.
Fighter 6 or
Yeah, it's my first. I haven't played fighting games in years, and then finally my daughter got me into them, and now I really got into it.
you see, they learned a little bit from you about Elon Musk. You learn a little bit from them about video games, about this burgeoning scene coming out,
There you go.
crawling under the latch. Yeah, sure. Special delivery. That's I mean, gotta give Will Harvey credit for that. They warn you. They tell you, like they.
That one's yeah.
Yes, please.
Alcohol. Do it. Drink it. Drink it. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, my
Now,
controls are
Fucking
inverted.
controls. Okay.
They're actually kind of randomized. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't actually like control yourself at all like that. Like so if you try to do it, like you'll just go in all crazy directions. But
Also, I'm imagining that I need the alcohol for a puzzle solution rather than,
You're
partying.
right. Yes, you're absolutely correct.
Fuck this. Oh, no, that's right.
Yeah,
if you
that's why
wait
you
too
need the
long,
alcohol. You see this room, you're like, nope.
take a swig. Now,
You don't really have much in the way of items.
no, I don't. I don't think I have the item I need, as a matter of fact. I think I need a potion of levitation.
So yeah, you're gonna have to You have to do something about those spiders in the chest. If only you had the only item that you get in the entire level. Well, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, so you have to say no to that.
I was gonna joke that, okay, give the spiders alcohol.
Get them nice and wasted. It's like smoking bees to sleep. Ah, thank God, the 80
that'll
gold pieces
solve
we
it.
need. So we'll lay 80 gold pieces across the floor. We'll take a step on each of them.
You'll bribe the spiders.
A spell of levitation and a note. Avoid cobwebs and egg sacs. Just general advice. This has nothing to do with levitation. Yeah, I think I will take that scroll. And I think I will attempt to, much like the magic carpet.
I was just also gonna have, yep.
Yeah,
Sure looks like it.
store has a time limit. You do have to do it kind of fast, but it's also controls like crap. It
And
controls
also,
like the
it's
carpet.
so hard to make out the eggs on the ground in spots.
Because the hitboxes, it's all isometric too. So even if you see them coming, it's a little weird to know, like, wait, am I in line to hit it or what?
And every time you died here, it'd be back to the beginning, if of the level. If not, if you ran out of continues. So at some point, ultimately, it's always going to be back to the beginning of the level. Yeah, this is
Going around at the speed of
bonk.
Oh.
Well, it ran out.
Well, if the spiders didn't get you, the concussion
You
would've.
can you can turn it off by going to your inventory, I think, using the spell again. Just so you can get on the ladder. Here.
Hey, there we go.
I think there's like a hay in here, and it doesn't do much because that was just the whole level, if I recall. Sorry to spoil everything like 5 seconds ahead of
No,
when it
by all
happens.
means. I think you've earned the right to. The goblins you met on the last level had asked you to help them flush a monster out of their water supply, but where is their water supply? It's a good question. We probably should have asked a few more of those. You sense, as you approach the next level, that water is near.
It better be. We're not saving this for the sequel.
So, this in the background, a fun little production note. Slowbeef's computer just blue screened. They sent a message. They'll be here presently. I'm sure they'll be back online quickly, but that's very funny. Oh no, they're gonna miss that grisly torture scene. Oh no, without my coach, what am I supposed to do here?
Okay, I think I remember. Back and forward, back and forward.
I think that's
Something
enough.
along those lines.
I think that's enough.
There you go.
Shocking. Yep, and there's their official disconnect on Parsec happening just now. I suppose we'll wait, because this is where the story starts to really come into focus here. So I feel like they should be present for it in some capacity. But what are you thinking of this so far, Sharky, of this game? Get some mid-game thoughts, why don't we?
Glad you're playing it.
Yeah. Don't think I haven't thought about passing the controls over to you or to Slowbeef at a certain point, because I'm just like, you're the one who's good at this game. You fucking play this.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I get why this got good reviews at the time. At the time, being key. I feel like this would have been like really impressive, like, oh, look at all this cool shit. And I think people then had a much higher tolerance of being fucked with.
Slime in chat says, Slowbeef got caught by one of the Immortal's many traps.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I'm just kind of letting this guy bleed out. Oh, well,
What?
I tapped left in it.
Excuse me, I'm right here. Please talk to me.
Well, there's nothing I can do for him. He's already dead, clearly. You know what? I think Slowbeef's seen the story in this game before.
Yeah.
I think they might be familiar with it. As you approach, the man lifts his head. He seems to know you.
I'm Dunrick.
He falters.
I sent my servant to warn you. Mortimer's in the prisoner. He kidnapped my daughter. Tried to threaten him. He is manipulating. If I had my ring, I could. But my servant, someone spilled coffee on my script. I don't know what.
Welcome back. Oh.
Oh, goodbye.
As quickly as they joined, they left. Oh, now they're connecting on Parsec. A little behind the scenes for the folk at home. We do like transparency. Hello.
Hey, sorry.
No, you're okay. Don't worry about it. So computers, aren't they great? It's
Fell for one of Will Harvey's traps, did you?
Yeah.
My BIOS warned me that one of my fans failed too, starting up again. So.
Well, I know this is a
Immortal
graphical
really is.
powerhouse that you're looking at right now, so we'll try to speed through. Should we give Dunrick his ring? Nah,
Yeah,
fuck
right?
you.
Oh.
Nope, and then you just couldn't beat the game. You just couldn't do anything at that point if you chose to be a dick.
Died of a broken heart.
Dunrick mutters an incantation, then lowers his head. 3 spells appear in front of you. Body statue, magnetic hands,
Baba Booey,
and
Baba
Sonic.
Booey.
Dunrick is still. Yeah, rip. Rip to a real one. So that's Dunrick. See, the plot really is starting to resolve itself now. But who's that other guy, then?
Yeah, who are you?
Oh.
You found Dunrick, did ya? What did he tell you? He told you about Mortimer, didn't he? Then I'll have to kill ya. Mortimer's orders. Oh.
I learned this fighting style from the goblins and the trolls. Never fails.
Oh, geez.
Actually, it seems to be working well.
Don't worry. He'll get tired of kicking my ass either way.
Man, he's got abs. Jeez.
Everyone does in this universe. I bet under that
I
cloak,
know.
our wizard is fucking ripped. No
You
gruesome
did
death
drink that
animation for
potion of
him.
magic muscle.
That's true. That's why don't they have those in real life, huh? I guess I got muscle milk. I'm so sated with
Now,
my killing.
just
Did it.
sleep next to my comfort corpse.
You lie uncomfortable for a long time, wondering what dreams will visit you. You unwillingly fall asleep, thinking about the city, of fountains you dream. You dreamt of 3 long days ago. So they are keeping track of time. You are inside a room at a meeting between city officials and wizards. The officials want water access. They are planning a siege. The wizards are arguing over a weapon they have created. There is some problem with it. The dream changes.
Elon Musk, you created the worst weapon again.
No, he would work with him later. Will Harvey and Elon Musk would share an office
Oh.
later.
Hmm.
You see a wall of fire. Now, in the flames, you see men attacking dragons. There is a flash. All are dead. You see another attack. Defending himself, a dragon incinerates the army, but then another flash kills him instantly. Armies block the exits of the dungeons, trapping the dragons inside. One escapes. So beginning to see the story here, are people beginning to put the pieces together, see where this is all headed potentially? I do like the way they dole out information. I do like how vague the story is. I do like how it's just like, you're getting this shit piecemeal, you're getting this in dreams, dream logic, which is also what this game was programmed with these fucking ladders were programmed with some sort of fucking dream logic. Ay vey. There we go. Much better. Not much better.
All right, welcome to the Donkey Kong level, I guess.
This only you could have done this, wizard.
Well,
Pranked. You've just been goblined.
we'll leave a barrel at the bottom of the ladder. It's gonna be fucking hilarious.
And this- Somewhere there, the goblins are like, and that fixed it. Thank you.
Yeah, so you need to put a stopper in, and a wizard's body is actually the perfect dimensions. All right, it's like the carpet again, except this is actually a little better.
Yeah. It's like slower. You do bounce, but it's like, you know.
I think I
Just
might
like-
have this.
Yeah. We have to do some Mario Kart on it in a little bit too. There you go. There's some drifting involved.
Yeah, we've had several months of getting used to that.
Go.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Weighing
stuck.
your
Yeah,
options.
it happens. Hit like down, I think, to get off of this. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
God,
thought you
you
just
were-
didn't want to fuck with that area.
I can't believe I don't remember that. Anyway.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And you can see the goblins doing their work. Ooh.
This is like totally weird. Like, because
Oof.
the little bubbles don't exactly match where he is, you know? But it's more or less like a big timing thing.
Is there a way for me to must go faster, right?
I think bounce off the wall, so you're right, is the way I would do it.
Well, that's a
Like
good
bank
idea.
shot. Yeah, so you don't lose momentum. I don't know if it works, but it seems like it will. If you were playing Will Harvey's Zany Golf, that's the play. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah,
I think you lost a little momentum when you made the turn like that.
Yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, let's try this from the top, why don't we? That's why I was giving myself some buffer room here.
Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't help that the frame rate is dying on the hardware as this is happening.
The Immortal is destroying all our computers. Oh dear. You're good. I think you're good now. Like this is you're through the danger zone mostly.
God willing. Okay.
I don't think you can do it in this version. You can try going up the ladder though. Actually, no, you can do it in this version.
Oh, come on. That's...
Here, if you want to rewind and go up the ladder too for an
Yeah.
extra special thing.
Oh, yeah, let's try it. Why not, right? I'm so
Yeah,
close to
think-
it, right?
Yeah. You made it.
Ha! And is straight up game over you for that? Come on.
Yeah.
Rude,
Oh, wow, actually, I
much.
didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah,
But,
that super killed you, I guess.
Yep.
No coming
That
back
and
from
the
that
amulet.
one.
There you go.
All right, so I believe the solution here is
There
get
you
sucked
go.
down the whirlpool. And then you can see it coming after you. Down the spiral it goes. You hear a voice.
Why did you drown yourself? It says.
You remember the raging current of the vortex. Oh. But now it is quiet. Time has passed. You sense that someone or something is nearby. I think they might
You
be
hear a
right.
voice. I simply would not have avoided the whirlpool.
I simply would have chose to swim around it, you fool. You know? It's an unlocked. Why not open it?
Spiders.
Oh, gold. This will come in handy.
Fire protection. This is interesting because if you note the spells you get here for fire protection and blink.
It's convenient. It's awful convenient that these are the spells they leave for you.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone's leaving them there, knowing full well what we're about to see next.
Mm-hmm.
Perish the thought. Oh, did you hear that?
Sorry, that was my stomach. It's been a while since I ate.
That's someone in combat. Do a couple wars for you.
I've learned better. I know there's going to be traps in this room. I'll just go around the edges. Thank you very much.
But
There's a whole lot of nothing in this room. I guess I'll...
Oh, we're here.
yep.
Not a long game, as it turns out. For this is the final encounter in the final level.
Oh God, you're here. All right, I'm just waking up. Hold up. Give me a second. You couldn't have called in advance. Jesus. There, have a nice day. Goodbye.
Just making sure you're dead.
I was hoping it would
Over.
descend all the way down in real time again. But no. There is a method to this. There is a method to this madness. So they've given us a fair number of scrolls and magics.
I think you need not fire protection.
But blinks.
You need no. I think you need stats. No, you need blinks. You need blinks. You're right. Your blinks. Yep. So you need the one you got from the chest recently. The blinks.
That's what I've been telling Microsoft for years. I need blinks.
Yeah, bring that time sweeper
Where's
back.
the third one?
So the fire
man.
protection lasts a little longer than a blink, but here you go. You'll see what happens. There you go. Watch for the glow in his
Yeah.
eye. That's the
Don't
I
fire
like that
until
they
you see
give
the
him like
whites
a
in his
punch out
eyes.
tell.
This game really is the fantasy version of Punch Out at the end of the day, isn't it?
More or less, right? There you go. Now, this time he's going to double rear up for a big, deep breath. And I think you want to wait for him to do that, like the second time one.
Yep.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I just
No, keep waiting.
oh.
Keep waiting.
I realized that I negated the
There.
or I'm out of blink. Am I not? I'm out of blink, so
Yeah,
now
you
I
are.
need to
Now
use
you need
fire
the fire.
protection. That's
Yep.
right.
Fire prot. There you go. Now, you have to do something else while he catches his breath.
I believe that's.
The amulet. Read it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Hold it up
time,
to the light.
finally.
Nothing happens if you read the runes except game over, for the record.
But what if we choose
But-
not to read the runes?
Yeah.
What if we read the room instead?
Oh, I was.
Fool! Read the words! I've waited 1,000 years for this! Read the words!
Yeah, I'm with him.
Fine, then I'll just take back my amulet. I have other students who will come. Prepare to die.
I was actually trying to lead you to read the words in the amulet. I forgot this is what you were supposed to do right now.
No, you actually nailed it. And now we must statue, I believe.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, so equip statue. You're gonna have to use it 3 times similarly. Then he's gonna do a thing, and you have to use Sonic for that, or you can watch the death first, then use Sonic, and then you have to use the 3 statue after it. You don't have to re-equip statue though. So it's like statue, 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 Sonic protection, statue, statue, statue.
We'll let him kill us
And-
once too, just to see what this
Yeah.
looks like. The
And
dragon looking unsatisfied. Good
The
job.
Sonic death and the final Blink death or statue death are different also, if you want.
So you cast it. Oh nope, you
Now,
cast
basically,
it.
once
Yep.
it leaves. Yep. 1.
That's a pathetic statue to freeze yourself in. To be like,
Yeah,
oh,
like, ah! It's like you're afraid of the lightning in advance. Now there's a unique death here if you like.
oh no, Genesis sound chip. Ugh.
Another head. See, we bookended it with head explosion. The dragon's fine, I guess. You know, he doesn't have ears. Whatever. So yeah, but basically, once you see more Namurs, like little glow come out of his hand.
That would be a good time to.
Yep. I think that's good.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
would be safe.
Now you have to get ready to do it again. You don't need to re-equip it, but that's
Oh,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
Compulsive.
Yeah, and then not this one, but the one after it's also a unique death if you want, but not a huge deal. Because this is, hey, it's kind of the guy from the title screen.
Close enough. And we
Yeah,
get another
you know.
decapitation, so ultimately
Yeah.
worth it. Dragon
There you go.
satisfied. All right, so I will use the statue this time around.
Yep. And I think that doesn't happen in the NES version, the Sonic, or I think it's just the lightning.
You have no more defenses, my student. What a pity I wasted so much time on you. You don't think you made it here on your own, do you? Look at me. Do I remind you of a merchant, perhaps? Who do you think left you those chests? Do you even know why I summoned you? 1,000 years ago, I created this amulet to kill the dragons that govern the fountain of youth. But this one escaped. He came back and destroyed my city. I was the sole survivor. Now I have returned to reclaim the fountain.
Ooh.
That
Who
gave
but
me...
me could have ordained the king of goblins. Oh, sorry.
No, by all means. You were to kill the dragon for me. You see, the power of the amulet to kill a dragon will also kill the one using it. So, I can't attack the dragon myself. But as long as I have this amulet, the dragon won't attack me.
Who else could have put a slime in a bottle for you?
Yes.
Who
thi-
but Mortimer?
this iron amulet, which
Amulet.
I will hold up and show to you right here. Oh shit!
Oh.
Well,
So-
glad to be of service.
And
When
the
we-
lightning, just for good measure.
One neat detail, all the 3 spells you've used on Mortimer here are the ones that Dunrick gives you. And
Yes.
the ones used on the dragon were in the chest.
Which is a bit of, it's a good internal logic for this game to have. And hey, look, it's
And-
her.
if you don't give Anna the ring to a goblin, comes down instead to help you, and then you embrace the goblin. Fine.
He's not picky. He's just lonely.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was all for the Fountain of Youth.
It was. And then you had a little dragon roar his approval.
The journey out of the dungeons takes 2 days, but with Anna by your side, time seems unimportant. The water invigorates you with new youth, and you discover a new spring to your walk. As you travel, your thoughts return to Mortimer and the dragon. They were alike, in a way. Both had
In a
scales.
way.
Kind of, I guess.
Each the only survivor of a civilization destroyed by the other
Each
more than
100
1,000 years ago.
You're both 100 feet tall, scaly.
They were an equal
Smell
match, also, and it seems strange that you would tilt the balance of a conflict forged so long ago. Game over, play again.
Who else but me could have left a message for Dunrick? Oh, I didn't change that part.
Whoops.
Oh, I also overpriced the Will-O-Wisp charm or whatever. I'm sorry.
We'll adjust that on the fly.
The next wizard's gonna have a smooth time getting here. Don't worry.
Don't worry, you set the path for them. You cleared all the spaces. Well, you know what time it is.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust. Now we play the game again from the start. Yeah, new game.
Yeah. Immediately, of course I would want to play again.
Might be a...
New Game Plus. Inside of this worm.
I probably should have left you more notes about the worms, my student.
Probably should have gotten to that one in advance. Whoopsies.
If only there was magic that could make the sensors last like more than 10 seconds. Oh,
But alas, such technology does not exist and will never. And
I'm sorry I didn't leave you a pillow in my dungeon Airbnb full of hay.
I knew he was a landlord. I knew he was evil. That's when I should have known. So, that's more or less the Immortal. The Japanese version of this game has a credits roll at the end, and then it has like a creature gallery where it gives you the names of all the characters. Not present here in the North American or European release for that matter. But that is more or less the game, which means the time has come. Whoop, for us to pop up on screen here. Hello, howdy.
Hi.
And give some final thoughts on this here game that we just survived. I feel like Sharky, you should go first.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna kind of echo what I said while Slow Beef had the computer die, which is I can see why something like this got good ratings at the time. I think it is like really kind of impressive and ambitious. I think there are a lot of like cool touches and things happening. I also feel like people back then had a lot more patience for being fucked with in the game than they would now. So I could see why then people would be all for this. I think in a modern light, if you look back at this, a lot of this does seem like bullshit. A lot of this does seem like the controls are just like it seems like the I didn't have hands on, but the magic carpet and the flotation stuff really looked like bullshit. Some of the hitboxes on some of those traps seem to like magnetize you into them just so you could die. Just like, oh, you're not walking by here. Go over here like 2 steps to the left to die. Yeah, I think I was going back and forth because when we like said we're gonna do this game, and I looked back at the old reviews, and I was like, is this game bad? Like, did we pick like a not bad game for this show? And I'm like, I'm not so sure that this is truly a bad game, but definitely a frustrating one. And depending on your point of view of like your tolerance of it, that could make it bad.
Well, how...
But I will leave that to the experts who have actually played this game, and not me who just sat here and watched it.
Yeah, let's pass it on to Slow Beef. I feel like you are, irrevocably tied to this game in some capacity. And I feel like you'd be... I feel like I would take your opinion here with a certain degree of weight with how long you've had with this game, so please.
So here's the thing. I actually chose this game as a Let's Play because I really did like it. And I do like it, as many jokes as I make and such. I do like the story because it is unassuming in the sense of like it's got a little bit of intrigue at the start, but then it lulls for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, actually no, there's a twist here. Mortimer was like actually stringing you along, and was the merchant and all that fun stuff, and it's like it was just neat. And you know, it's definitely needs work in the sense of like the hitboxes are bad. There's just stuff that's mean for no reason, you know, even beyond the silly ladder thing. Like the amulet's weird, the shades are weird. Like you just have to play it over and over and over again until you finally get the hang of everything. And even then, it's like still pretty hard. But I mean, you know, artistically, it looks really cool. I even kind of have I kind of like the music, even if on the Genesis version, even if it's a little odd. But you know, I do like it. I don't know that I would call it a good game per se. You know, I feel like a modern version of it might help if it were a little longer and things were a little tighter in terms of controls and things like that. But it would also maybe lose something a little bit. You know, it's like one of those like old kind of games that you remember growing up, but just doesn't age well enough that you would, you know, totally recommend it or anything like that. I don't know. It's definitely, I think, I'm not patting myself on the back here. There's some games that are like they're better for let's plays or streams. Like they're more fun to watch and actually play yourself. You know what I mean?
No doubt. Yeah.
That's where it kind of loses. That's where I think it like kind of it's hard to say it's ultimately a good game because it is like even other games that I do like are like they're fun to experience vicariously and you kind of get the same you get the same out of it that you would have playing it, you know.
No, I think that's a fair and measured take. And yeah, you know, as far as it being the subject of that VLP of, you know, potentially the first VLP, certainly the first one to be called as such, I feel like it really is a perfect choice for that because it is a game that you wouldn't wish your worst enemy to play necessarily, but it is cool. It has a lot of neat qualities to it. The part where you actually have to play it is definitely more of a chore, I would say. Yeah. We've played worse, to be sure. I can't be too negative on it, in my opinion, which I guess we're coming around to at this point. I think the first thing I want to say, the first thing I really want to say, the first like major credit I want to give this game, we have a say something nice button that people can redeem during the show, and I was waiting for someone to redeem that at some point, so I could say what I'm about to say here, which is that I really like the way they tell the story in this game. Oh, hello. Thank you for the raid. We've just wrapped up a playthrough of the Immortal. We are now giving our thoughts. And hey, there's to say something nice. Better late than never. Hey, so here's something nice we can say about the Immortal. I really like the way it tells its story. I really like the story told here. I really like the vagaries of it. I hear people talk about these Souls games, the Dark Souls and the Bloodborns and so forth, and how so much of the story is told through like item descriptions and things that are so like outside of like, you know, what would typically be a video game narrative, outside of some, you know, old crone telling you, laying out the details of the world to you or what have you, or getting it through exposition dialogue. No, they sort of leave you to piece the pieces together based on those dream sequences, based on the little bit of context clues. But I think what really like hooks me on this game, what like really sets a very strong positive impression, is that first screen is just that very first message from Mortimer, calls you the wrong name and leaves you to think like, okay, so am I the wrong guy in the right place? Or it opens you up to so many questions.
I had forgotten the plot of this game since the last time like I seen play through. So I was thinking like, oh, so we're done, Rick, but we just like have amnesia or something. And like, no, they didn't go that route.
No, they could have, and it would have sucked. It would have been less interesting. What they did here, I think, is actually very interesting. Meeting Dunrick, his daughter, having all these, you know, characters, not necessarily developed characters, not particularly well developed, but they don't have to be in a setting like this. You can tell that this wizard just means business. He tears through this goddamn dungeon on his way to try to initially rescue Mortimer, but then discovering, you know, at a certain point, you know, whether you discover it in the last second when he confronts you, or you're able to piece it together through the dream sequences and sort of figure out, realize like, oh, this guy's probably the last wizard, huh? This guy's probably the guy that was part of that civilization, battled the dragons, so on and so forth. So they give you the opportunity to figure it out before the game outright tells you. And I appreciate when a game does that, when it gives you the clues and lets you come to that conclusion, where it seems to respect your intelligence. And I do feel like Will Harvey, for better or for worse, expected players of this game to be somewhat intelligent, at least in their ability to trial and error and to solve the puzzles, and
patient
to a fault, possibly. Because
If you think of, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you think about it too, it's neat because it also sort of does this like unasked question with a lot of like these sort of fantasy campaigns of like, well, why are there treasure chests around, and like, why would a merchant be here and things like that, and it kind of builds the plot around it, and your expectations going in when you see those things, and they're just the standard sort of like fantasy campaign sort of tropes, is that you don't really question it. And then it sort of at the end goes, no, it's like inverted. It was a clue. It was staring at you right in the face all along, but you were just expecting that to be like the tried and true thing of it. And then, so it is kind of neat in that way,
It absolutely is. And it comes back to, I think, with that in mind, I wonder how much of that would have been present in the original online version of this. I wonder what the transition there looked like. I wonder if there was like, because they talk about, the game having a moral about like thinking before you act. And, I wish there was like a full development time on that. Now Gamer article is pretty good. It's the only source on development for this game. But I really kind of hope that someone swings back around to Will Harvey one of these days. Maybe takes a photograph of the man so we can see what he looks like now. If he's Benjamin Button, like fully babyfied at this point, I mean, I want to know. But also I want to know, like, what was that original vision? What was that original online space supposed to be like? Did it have any of these plot elements? Were these developed later? Because, like, the story they ultimately landed on, I think, is told, like, pretty excellently in its capacity as something that is very deliberately vague on these platforms, told through the context of an action-adventure game. I really do find myself, like, really respecting that aspect of it. Okay, that's
now,
the nice stuff. All that being said...
you did have to play the game.
You did have to play the game. And, benefit of the doubt here. To audiences of 1990/1991 and the value they would derive from a game. A factoid I bring up a lot is that back in the day, the classic JRPGs of old, yes, Dragon Quest et al., and the amount of grinding you had to do in those games, and how for players of that era, for Japanese salarymen who had an hour to play a game when they got home, that was perfect for them, that the grind was the gameplay, the thing they enjoyed. They said, well, my goal for the day is to grind out this much gold to buy this piece of armor, then tomorrow I'll grind out for my next character to get the amount of gold. It's just differences in the way that we approach games nowadays versus the way that we approach them contemporaneously. And I think a game like this, especially in its capacity as a home computer game initially, we have to sort of put out of our minds that it's a Genesis game now in this capacity, or the NES version of it, and think about it with the original intention of its design as a home computer game, and that sort of audience who had cut their teeth on the likes of King's Quest and text adventure games like The Hobbit or what have you. Just that style of game where death was always this sort of immediate, where you could be a walking dead man. And compared to those games, this game's actually downright magnanimous. Any decision that you make, any item that you waste, is only going to be for that floor. You can't, like, do something in the first level that fucks up the rest of the game for you. You can't, like, forget to flip a switch in level 1 that ultimately fucks you over in level 7 or anything like that.
Can you forget to take the amulet?
No, you need that to. That's another smart thing they do. They make you use the amulet in that ray of light to open the ladder to the second level. So they're making sure that's the reason why that exists in a design language sort of sense, is to make sure that you have that item, is to ensure that before you progress, you have that necessary item for progression. So they were definitely considering things like that as they're developing the game, as they're making it in some way accessible to a player, to a player who can, at the very least, if they can't context clue their way through, if they don't want to avail themselves of all the tools, you can still bang your head against this game as a player, as a stubborn player. You can eventually like without the benefit of the map, still map out that worm room without the benefit of using the sonar or what have you, or just any sort of puzzle they throw at you in this game can eventually be mastered. The controls might not be ideal for stuff like the magic carpet and the barrel and the levitation, but they're ultimately like they could have done mazes. Think about that. Think about that potentiality. What if this game had fucking mazes in it? What if this dungeon had twisting corridors and dead ends? They could have. What stopped them besides just like some amount of good grace, some amount of compassion for the player? They could have made this so much harder. As it stands, it's just a game that doesn't execute its combat mechanics particularly well, doesn't execute its control mechanics super well. They are functional, and sometimes that's good enough. And I think, what this game really excels in is that storytelling and some sense of atmosphere that is provided here. Again, I got tired of seeing the same fucking tile set for the better part of an hour and a half there. I was sick of those brownstones by the end, believe you me. But at the same time, understanding the roots of this game maybe explains that a little more. Not that anyone in 1991 would have had any benefit of that, would have, known about this game's roots as an online game, whatever. They didn't put that in the instruction manual. But at the same time, you can forgive it in its capacity as a dungeon crawler, as a true dungeon crawler, where you experience a dungeon and a cave and a waterway. They at least do a little bit. I would have liked to see them do a little more. I would have liked them to have had the standard controls applied when you're doing stuff like the carpet and barrel, rather than like the turning around system. I think just having your movement controls and directionality applied to that probably would have been a very easy fix, at least on the D-pad, at least for the Genesis version.
The carpet section didn't have to be a war zone either, with like just tons of cannons and like fire things coming out of the floor.
It didn't have to, but I do feel like in that instance in particular, having that there in lieu of like actual like set piece stuff. I mean, this game does try to have some like sort of storytelling moments, set pieces, seeing the goblins infighting, seeing like walking into fights already in progress. I think does to some extent like demonstrate their want to tell a cinematic story, but without the benefit of like explosions and cars driving through and helicopters crashing or whatever other modern amenities we would have in the modern day, however a Call of Duty campaign would do it. Or what is even like Dragon Age doing at this point, or any of those other modern RPGs. Without the benefit of that, you just got to put a bunch of stuff like popping off, have as many traps as possible, shooting off fireballs and things on the floor, densely populate that room to make it feel like, well, you got to dart through this. You're going to zoom through the danger in your capacity as a wizard on a flying carpet. That's me making an excuse for it. I mean, you're not wrong.
I think you have a good point, yeah. Right, yeah.
But at the same time, there's definitely changes I would make. To be sure, there were things that if I were a game designer, if I had been in the driver's seat, if I had been in the room with Will Harvey, this, that, so on and so forth. You can speculate about these things all day. You can be an armchair game developer if you so please. But ultimately, the game that got made, that got put out, is the one we played today. Granted, this is the Genesis version, which was handled by a different team, but is fairly close to the Amiga and ST and 2GS versions, at least in terms of presentation, in terms of progression and whatnot. The innovation here is the combat and the more traps present, which are changes that are lateral in whatever capacity. But I think taking the game as a whole, taking its original intention, that original intentionality of that 2GS version, seeing that transplanted as well as they could to the Genesis in their capacity as a conversion team at Sega, at Electronic Arts, I should say, you got to respect it. I don't walk away from this one angry. I walk away satisfied with the story that's told, with the ending as, sparse and as quick as it is to get out of there. I think it is, ideally the perfect ending to this game is that, leave it to your imagination. This is fantasy. You can write the book in your head. You can imagine this world. We gave you text. We gave you a brief bit of text to explain, to contextualize the world, but we leave it to you, dear player, to create those visions in your mind of that kingdom, to picture in your own mind the Fountain of Youth, what a young Mortimer might have looked like, etc., etc. So in that regard, the ending's fine. It tells a complete story. It's an A to B story. I think the biggest problem with it is one that was I think isolated in some of the reviews, that once you solve it once, that's it, kind of, isn't it? You're not going to get much mileage out of it. There's no real alternate routes through it in the way that they pretend.
You are immediately given the option to play again, though.
That is true.
That's true, yeah.
I think this is my last change that I would make, though. I know I just said I can be armchair developer all day long, but let me play armchair developer just for once, just for one note, which is to say, I think they should have given you more items. I think they should have given you more of the items that you get. I think you should have been able to be a little bit creative with your use of spells and magics and items. I think, what if, just to take a puzzle, the Goblin King.
50 blink scrolls, 20 fire protection, make that last fight real epic.
Here's how you fix it. What if you had the Balatro Jokers, okay?
Ooh,
but
okay.
in the Immortal, huh?
Sold.
Blink gives you a multiplier, maybe?
Well, that makes my idea sound like shit. Now I'm going to feel embarrassed pitching this, but...
That's okay. I have the Kickstarter stood up, if anybody...
Oh, perfect. So, that dwarf and the Goblin King that are on the same floor, or no, what do you use the dust on the dwarf, right? The dust that you get from the goblin, and then the king, you with the spore and the given the water. What if there was an alternate solution there? What if you don't give the Goblin King water and you just have to loot the items, you don't get the explanation, but you also don't have that dust? So what can you do with that dwarf? What if you gave him the gem? What if you traded him a gem in exchange for the one that he has, in exchange for the item that he gives to you, ultimately? What if there was alternate solutions to some of these puzzles? You get what I'm saying here? What if there was, if you mess up one way, there's at least another way to do it? I'm not saying it has to factor into the ending. I'm not saying it has to factor into some grand overarching plot, but just to have some amount of variety and to be able to use items in multiple different ways, I think would have added a lot. It sounded like
that was on the docket for them in the original idea of it, because he was talking about the consequences of hey, you can work with the goblins or not, and if you do, you go down this path. And he does say and this will affect the ending, but that also just leads to this affects kind of how you solve problems. If you don't solve it one way, then you can solve it another way. Looks like that might have been the original idea.
If only he hadn't lied.
Yeah, if only. That's another thing Steve Blank taught him, father of modern entrepreneurship. That son of a bitch.
Yeah, he just said it, and then he was like, "Oh shit, that's actually a good idea. Why'd I lie about it? Could have done it."
I sold my gamers a bill of goods. Why?
But yeah, I like that. I kind of like the Immortal. All said and done, I thought that was pretty neat. Solid 3 out of 5 from me. Which is better than most games we play on here. I gotta be honest with you. Gotta level with you. We play a lot of bad games with the Bad Game Hall of Fame. That one, I would still call it a rough around the edges game, bordering on bad in its implementation, but I can't ultimately call it a bad game. I think it probably does transcend the Bad Game Hall of Fame. But hey, it was a good excuse to drag Slow Beef onto the show. So ultimately, that ties that whole thing together. I think it was a game well played. And it was interesting to talk about and interesting to play, and it has great death animation. So I feel like I had a good time. And that's ultimately makes me happy. Who gives a damn about the audience if they just want to see us suffer? Those fucking monsters out there. Sorry, folks.
I hate them.
Well, on that note, on that hopeful note, and a note of endearment to the audience, I do say, folks, thank you for tuning into this, our playthrough of the Immortal and complete history thereof. Special thank you to Slow Beef for coming along on this most epic of quests, coming around full circle, one might say, that this game and your playthrough of it, if I can get just a little bit sentimental about the past for just a minute here, that I joked at the top about you inventing the idea of talking over video games. But ultimately, I mean, you started something of a movement, something that inspired a bunch of other people to get into this thing where we talk over video games. And some people go the direction of comedy, some people go the direction of being educational about the games. I don't know what we're doing of either of those, but, we could aspire to be either of those two. But, in some capacity, at this point in time, I think between us, the three of us on the screen right now, I think all of us have been talking over video games in some capacity for the last fucking nearly 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And No, please.
I was gonna say, the thing I said when I was younger is like, I hope I'm not doing this when I'm 30, and now I'm 47 and I'm still doing it. So it has definitely been over about 20 years. Yeah. Almost,
that's the crazy thing, though, is that, we're still doing it for our own reasons. To me, I'm too stubborn to quit. I'm too dumb to understand when the time has passed for. I believe in doing these things. I know it's not the most important thing in the world to talk over video games, but I do hope that talking about these games, giving them the benefit of the doubt and whatnot. And I'll say back in the day, back when I was an SALPer. You'll never know who I was, but I was at a point in time. I was playing bad games.
You'll never know who I was on SA either. Just don't look at what my username is now, because that's a big clue to what I was called back in something awful.
Back in the day, I played my share of bad games for Threads, and I was not as nice about them back then. The benefit of something like 15, 16, 17 years is that you become a little wiser along the way. You learn to appreciate the work that goes into these products that developers put in. You begin to understand it from that angle. And, the practice of talking over the entirety of a playthrough kind of does drill those principles in you if you actually give a fuck about this game's industry, about the products on display, and aren't just using it as, the backdrop to you yelling into a microphone and getting yourself over, tying it into the gameplay. There is something to it, and I think it has helped in people's understandings of how the industry operates from those LPs, inspiring people to get into commentary on their own, or to read those threads and to look into all the posts and get some of the backstory. Because I remember a lot of SA threads back in the day. People would post in the thread and say like, hey, I found out some info about this developer. I found out some info about the guys who made this game. Let's use it to shit on them, right? Let's use it to make fun of them. That was the practice. That was the style at the time. But, again, years pass, people grow wiser. I don't know, this is all a very roundabout way of saying that it is sort of like closing the loop in some capacity for me to take this back to the source, to the first VLP I ever saw, that's for sure, and to have you along is a very funny way to do it. I think it's a supremely funny way to cover this game, so I thank you for being a good sport about it.
Thank you. If I could sentimental quickly, I don't talk about the inventing Let's Play thing a lot because it's complicated, all that fun stuff, and there's a lot of like argument about things like that, but like I think one of the reasons I get credit for it per se, and one of the reasons I don't love to always like directly take the credit, is because I think the reason is because like obviously there was audio narration over video games in the 80s. They had like VHS tapes and things, but putting it on the forums and having other people join in and contribute to it and do it on their own and having a community spring forth from it is really what put Let's Play on the map, more than like me doing the Immortal or whatever, and it was like really that did it. Because like in my ear I've had people say like, I did it, I should get the credit, and it's like, but you didn't talk to anybody, and what I mean, and not to blame other people, I'm just saying like what was different, I think was the differentiating factor, was to have like a place to go, even if it was the SA forums or ultimately like a YouTube or Twitch or whatever, but it's the people who do it together and like give each other the tips and teach each other how to use like, Growler gun cam back in the day, or God forbid Hypercam 2, and all that fun stuff. So
and encoding your videos in Avasynth or whatever the fuck, so you could get them to fit the bit rate, or because there's no other editing programs you could use, or the shit we dealt with back. Remember we couldn't use YouTube? Remember when YouTube was like, why would you upload to YouTube? The quality sucks.
I kept it all on Google. I kept it all on Google Video. That was the way to do it.
That's the I had it all. Yeah, and then yeah.
But that is kind of a thing I miss about the old style of Let's Play, was because most of what I did in the Let's Play subform, because I did a couple threads, but most of what I did was just collaborating with people by, sometimes I would be like a guest, like Devious Vacuum's Girl Games thread. I was a guest on there once and did a couple other things with it. But a lot of what I would do is I would just go into threads and interact, do fan art, make little things for it. Or sometimes a gimmick that I did was I would go into someone's thread and then run a contest for that thread without running it by the person first. I would just go in there and make a contest. They appreciate it. They always appreciated it, but it was just like a random, like, hey, I'm gonna give away a game. Make fan art for this thread that's going on right now, and I'll pick a winner. And there's like a real community to that I think is what got me to, fall in love with the idea of talking over video games and do this as entertainment stuff. And that atmosphere doesn't really exist anymore. Like, the days of the forums are mostly over. But I am glad that with Twitch that we have these opportunities to collaborate now. There's a little bit of that still there with Discord communities and with being able to reach out to other people still talking about video games on the internet.
If I could summarize what you just said, Shark. Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
To make a long story short, to cut to the chase here. Well, there you go, folks. That's our Something Awful reunion in the year 2025. That's the SALP. So now that was the part of the show where we got to plug our shit like it, where we have to let folk know what they can expect to see on the show. Which, hey, speaking of Devious Vacuum, this Saturday, Devious Vacuum will be on the stream. They'll be playing a Girl Games Gauntlet. Funny that we're getting real nostalgic up in here, I guess.
Yeah, it's another return of the LP thread, because I found a bunch of girl games for consoles, and we're going to check them out.
That should be a fun one. Join us Monday, November 17th for Casual Mondays, a show where we play not so bad games and have casual conversation. Tuesday will either be Spy Games Elevator Mission Episode 2 or not. It depends on... I'm moving, by the way. While this is all happening, I'm moving in the background and packing things up. So I'm going to be gone for a week. So.
If it's not Elevator Mission, then Johnny and I will be starting on Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Yeah, keeping fantasy going.
Mission. If it is Elevator Mission, then that'll be the next week.
Very good. And then there's a Patreon poll going on right now. Fighting games, non-fighting games. I think I got that right.
Something like that?
Something along those lines. Anyway, it's spin-offs of fighting game franchises that aren't fighting games. That definitely are not fighting games.
Do you have that list of choices up?
Oh, yeah, I should probably do that, huh? I should probably try to tantalize people to join the vote. Yes, the games on offer are Death by Degrees, Soul Calibur Legends, Guilty Gear 2 Overture, Mortal Kombat Special Forces, and Virtua Quest. Polling going on currently.
I'll say in the Discord version of the poll right now, almost like a dead even tie between them.
So if you want to sway the vote one way or the other, we'll tell you how to in just a second. Hey! If you like what you saw here tonight, first of all, you should probably check out Slow Beef. We like to, something we do here, we like to shine a spotlight on smaller creators, on people who are, maybe not as popular as we are. And we're kind of like, big dick swinging here. So, if you want to, you can plug your little show, I guess. You can plug your little channel if you.
You can find me on most everything as Slow Beef, which is YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky, and and I do have a website at fnslowbeef.com that I'm trying to update an old strategy guide for, and
LPR's work is never done. It's always something cooking.
But thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
And we very much appreciate it as well. And for the folk at home, if you enjoyed and appreciate what we put on here, consider joining the Discord server, discord.gg/bghof, a community of connoisseurs. Talk bad games, good games, every game in between, things that aren't games. Join our Bad Game Club, as mentioned earlier, folk playing Mylon Secret Castle and trading notes with each other, which is the traditional way to play that game. These two, I'm going to tell this very quick tangent, that back in the day, for games like Tower of Druaga, for arcade games that were particularly hard, they would have post-it notes in Japanese arcades where people would be like, well, I figured out how to get to this point in the game. Then they would scribble that on a post-it note and paste it onto the cabinet in the same way that, you talk to people at recess and, for the American equivalent, I'm sure they were also doing it in Japan, trade tips and tricks back and forth that way. Or you just buy a fucking strategy guide, right? I guess that's the cheaper way to do it, the easy way to do it. But anyway, people are trading notes on how to beat Mylon Secret Castle over in the Bad Game Club on our server. So that's very nice to see. I think that's real throwback. That's real community right there to bring it back to that point from earlier. Full circle, folks. And hey, if you really like what you saw here tonight, might consider subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, becoming a member on YouTube, any or all of the above. We'll grant you access on that Discord server to a Patreon Saints channel wherein you can vote in polls like the one we're currently running, make suggestions to help steer the direction of the show, gain access to exclusive content, the likes of VODs and so forth, and know that you're appreciated. Know that we thank you for helping keep the lights on at this goofy enterprise we put on. But hey, if you are not able to financially support us at this time, believe you me, we completely understand. If you don't have 30 gold that you stole away from a goblin in the caves to spare, there's still a free way to support us, and that is to go over to our YouTube channel. Check out our suggested viewing playlist. That's 20 handpicked episodes we think make for pretty good onboarding onto this show of ours. And consider sharing with folk you know, friends, family, clergy, wizards, dragons, et al., anyone you might know. Maybe you know a dragon. You might know several. If you're on the internet, you probably know several dragons at this point. So maybe share this with them. They'll be happy the dragon doesn't die at the end. So they'll be thrilled about that. Maybe they should skip the part where it mentions how an entire civilization of dragons was wiped out. Anyway, we'll leave it to your discretion, dear viewers. Now, we should probably look into a raid. I think that's the thing to do here on twitch.tv, on justin.tv. What were some other old hosting websites from back in the day where we had Hitbox. What was the DivX one? Stage 9. I think people tried to use that. Blip. Check out blip.tv.
Well, Blip wasn't streaming, but yeah, check out our VODs on Blip.
I'm gonna get them up on Vidler too, and we'll have options, depending on. I'm looking at several streams here. I'm going to send folk the way of Zophar of Zophar's Domain, who is playing Randy Linden's Doom prototype for the Super NES. There's someone endeavored to fix SNES Doom, and I'm curious about that. I don't know about y'all. We're keeping it old school. I mean, Zophar of Zophar's Domain doesn't get much more old school than that, truth be told. That dude's been around for fucking ever. And it's wild. I mean, it's wild to see them streaming. It's wild to see all the people from back then still around. I hope to be doing stupid shit online 20, 30, 40 years from now. I'm never stopping. I'm too stubborn to quit.
Yeah, someday the old voice I do won't be a bit.
It'll just be your resting voice. And I look forward to that day. But for tonight, for the Bad Game Hall of Fame, I need to come up with a nickname on the fly. Casting Cassidy.
I've been Charky, the sandworm that's one step to your left.
You can get it.
I'm slow beef, the slime.
It's perfect. There you go. I love when it all comes together. Slime beef?
The one that burns the rock. The fourth one you see in the game.
Oh, perfect.
Third.
I didn't know you featured it. Well, this whole thing then has been like self-promotion for you. You're getting the word of the game out, the game that you star in. Well, now I'm frustrated. Now that's just, what a sour note. You ruined it. You blew it. Well, bye, everyone.
So long, suckers.
Good night, everybody.